Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly Forbidden Master today, because today we are going to be taking out yet another of Free League or Free League's outstanding Year Zero RPGs for a spin. This time, we're going away from the post-apocalypse of World War III and now journeying to the Forbidden Lands. This is the old school sandbox game that they released a few years back, and we will be using their very cool Bitter Reach sourcebook. I know, shocking to have a fantasy survival frozen landscape on this channel, but it is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we're using the Bitter Reach to play a quick session to see how the game plays. And with me today are a bunch of stalwart travelers, treasure hunters, I believe is what they call the player characters in this game. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what's your familiarity with Forbidden Lands? First up, we've got John.
Hey everyone, I'm John and I'm playing Karina. She is a half-elf, survivalist, chef, and druid.
Nice.
And I know nothing about this game,
Awesome.
but I'm eager to learn.
Excellent. Next up is Darren.
Yeah, down here I am playing Trigar, the dwarf fighter. I was lucky enough to pick up the rule book on the conventions in the UK, but never played it, but I've had a chance to read through it, so looking forward to it.
Very nice. Next up is Colin, aka Spike Pit.
Hello there. Yeah, I will be playing Virgiville, the sorceress human, following the path of elementals, or path of elements from the Bitter Reach book. Forbidden Lands is a game I've owned since it came out and never had a chance to play it. And thanks to Kevin and the gang, it's going to happen. It's going to happen today, folks.
And last but certainly not least is Carl.
Hello, I'm Carl, and I'm playing Hender, a halfling guy who can't fight, apparently.
But he can sing. What a lovely singing voice he has.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing.
Okay. He actually was going to play, his encumbrance is such a thing in this. I initially had him playing a lute or a lyre, and that would have over-encumbered him. So he switched to the flute. All right, so guys, we are not going to stand on ceremony here, and we're going to jump right into things. So let's see. Our scene opens on a screen of white. We can hear the sound of water lapping up against the shore. We can hear, oopsies, wrong layer, Madison. We can hear the sounds of cracking ice in the distance. And we cannot see the water really because of the ice fog that hangs in the air. But then we hear a voice. I think I see land. And we hear a little bit of splashing, and what slowly comes into view is, you would think at first, or you would be forgiven, I guess, for at first thinking that you would be seeing a ship of corpses because of the rime of ice that sits across the entire thing. And in fact, one of the inhabitants of the boat is utterly still. The others are desperately putting whatever they can over the side to try and steer this ship or the boat towards the black, rocky, volcanic soil of this bitter and cold beach. There is in the eastern sky, a very faint light that is struggling to push its way through the clouds and the fog cover, but it really is offering very, very little in the way of warmth. And even the light itself has what you would expect from a lovely pink or golden sunrise is instead this very, very pale, sickly, reddish hue. And we can see these 4 heroes, or treasure hunters, are in this boat that slowly drifts to shore. We need not dwell on it because the past is the past. You are the ill-fated passengers on the Favored Daughter, a ship that was captained by, as is often the case in the Bitter Reach, a half-elf captain. Maybe the first sign that your voyage was not going to be good was when the ship's captain passed away and his much younger first mate had to take over. Those of you with any learning in the Bitter Reach, what you would know, of course, is that the advantage of having halflings do is with their long lifespans, they can memorize all the treacherous shoals and dangerous, coves where creatures will lurk as you pass through the, I think it's the Raven's Gap, making your way towards the Bitter Reach. Unfortunately, this young, eager captain who seemed a little... He didn't seem to be as upset by the passing of his mentor as you might think. He misjudged the passage, and the ship went down. You 4 managed to pile into a what do you call it? A boat, like a lifeboat. Unfortunately, after losing some of your supplies, your the one crewman who was with you decided, against the cautioning of Virgiville, to go into the water and collect some of your supplies. That decision, unfortunately, cost him his life. The very cold has claimed his soul. You guys, as far as you can gauge, have now reached the Bitter Reach. Arrived at the Bitter Reach, I guess would be a more artful way of saying that. Reach the Bitter Reach. Nothing but fucking classics here. So, guys, this, as far as you can tell, let me give control to all of you guys for this. Way down here is where you believe you have arrived. Making your way through the Raven Strait. The last survivors of the Favored Daughter. Now, the way that we talked about this a little bit before we went live, but the gameplay on Forbidden Lands is survival on a quarterly basis. Your day is divided up into 4 different days, or 4 different quarters. Of those quarters, one of them needs to be spent sleeping. So when you choose to do that is fine. Everyone takes a different role in different, parts of the quarters of the day. You can travel without any kind of difficulty for 2 quarters throughout the day. If you try and push through to a third, you will need to make an endurance test. Some of you guys have modifiers to different tasks you can do, like finding the way. There are certain times where you will not need to make a find the way check because... Oh no, you will, because it's not that you get lost. It's not like Twilight 2000 where you get lost. It's that you just can't find a path through. So, the terrain that you are moving through will dictate how difficult it is to move through these things. I think I got the scale set up. Each of the hexes is 10 kilometers. This over here is tundra. You can move 2 tundra per quarter. I also generate random encounters for every quarter. Let me rephrase that. Every quarter you are traveling, I make a random encounter roll. Every day you spend stationary, I make a roll for a random encounter. Where you were intending on reaching is the settlement of Northfall. It's basically become the hub of the treasure hunters who are going out. We can talk more if you guys survive this trip about what people are doing for why they're here, what is causing people to actually go out and search for treasures here, what might be found out there. But for now, your priority will be to survive. You may notice that we do not have a name for this community because you guys don't know the name of it. There may also be other unmarked things. I think everyone else knows, but for John, for your edification, on the map that comes with this too, it comes with stickers with different locations and stuff like that. So as you play, the map gets populated by things.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's a nice looking map too, isn't it?
I absolutely. I mean, I'm a sucker for any kind of like Nordic climb stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely love this. We didn't mention this when we went live, but like I mentioned this on Discord among the players. Like this game has been a white whale of mine. This setting in particular, since I saw the art for the cover, like before the Kickstarter started, I was like, this is right up my fucking alley. So the other thing you need to worry yourself with right now, what you can see is that you have resources for food and resources for water. You can freely eat and drink that stuff. Every quarter, you have to do it once per day, and then when you do, you make a roll for that resource. On a 1 or a 2, the dice is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 0. The smallest dice is a d6. Your however many units of it you've got, you can switch them back and forth. So you can split your dice up. So a d8 can then, if someone runs out and you got a d8 of something, you can give them 1 unit of it, and they will have a d6 and you will have a d6. However big your dice is, it doesn't get any larger than 1 normal item. Encumbrance in this is marked by you can carry a number of items equal to twice your strength score, and then Hender also has the pack rat talent, so he can carry 2 more on top of that. If you carry more, it just means that there are some difficulties if you need to run, and you might need to make endurance checks for hiking. You lose agility if you fail those tests, so it's not impossible to carry more than what you've got. Backpacks don't work the way they do in Twilight 2000, where they give you extra space. They just allow you to carry all the shit that you've got. Because of how bitter cold things are in even good weather, if you do not have a fire and you sleep outside, you die. Full stop. The fire is tracked by your torches. Only 1 person needs to dip into their resources for that. Your encumbrance, one thing before I forget about that, encumbrance is measured in the things you need to worry about for now. Heavy items count as 2, normal items count as 1, light items count as 0.5, and tiny items count as 10th. So for the tiny items that you guys have, I haven't bothered to count everything. Everything else is tracked. The character sheet is amazing for this. Everything is tracked on there, and you've got all your scores set. The reason I mention that is because your ill-fated companion did stuff a bunch of stuff in the thing for you. Some of you will be able to carry more weight than others, obviously. When you make a character in Forbidden Lands, you get to choose what age they are, and that dictates how many skill points you have, how many talents you have, and how many attribute points you have. Carl's playing an old halfling, which means his attributes are not as good, but he's got a lot more skills and he's got more talents. Hender, as a tiny halfling, cannot carry very much. He is currently at capacity. Tirgar is strong as a fucking ox, so he has lots of capacity left still. If you guys want to move stuff around, you can feel free to do that. Dropping a backpack and going to fight is a regular part of the game too, so if you choose to encumber yourself, Tirgar, with your endurance and your strength score, you're probably going to be safe to over encumber yourself and hike. It would be a risk for, say, Hender or I think Karina to do that. Well, Karina's got a 3 dice, right? 3 in strength?
Yeah, I've got 2.5 left for before I'm encumbered.
Okay, so I mention all of that because there are some things. The cold I mentioned is something that will come up. You will sometimes have to make checks against the cold. That's really only when you are camping and when you don't have proper clothing. Right now, you guys are arriving, as you may notice, with some pretty meager supplies. What has been packed on the ship or on the boat are enough warm weather clothing. There's I think they call it fur clothing, but it counts as a normal item. It doesn't give you any modifier. I think it gives you +2 to resist cold, actually. But the main thing is because you're dressed for the weather, you don't need to make cold rolls. Cold damages your strength. One upside, though, is Hender only has to make cold rolls every 2 times. So every second time we call for a cold roll, then he will have to make a roll for it. He's otherwise a tough old bugger. So I mentioned that because, again, Hender's at capacity right now. If he wants to take on some of that cold weather clothing, it will put him over. There is also a large tent that is in there. The large tent is a heavy item. It'll count as 2. So if you guys wish to load up with that, there is also as much... I think there will be enough. Let's see. Let's say there are 8 units of. No, let's say there are 4 units of what do you call it? Of firewood. So what that means is one of you can take all of that, and it'll count as a normal item, and that would give you a D12 in it. Or you can spread it around. Here, guys, taking the tent, so you can add that to your character sheet on the bottom right.
Yep, done that. Yep.
Okay.
I can do the firewood. So.
Okay.
Have we got? Has anybody got like fire steel, like tinderbox and fire lighting equipment?
I think you can assume you've got that. Let's see here. Flint and steel. You don't need that to make a fire. That would help. But that is if someone wants, I think Hander and I think maybe you guys have all. I've grabbed you guys the cold weather blankets for your trade item.
Yeah, sleeping fur is what I got listed.
Yeah. So sleeping furs gives you +2, I think, to resist cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very much like Twilight 2000. One of the neat things with these games is the gear has small mechanical modifiers to them, so like they matter for the purpose of what you're carrying around, but not they're not overwhelmingly powerful. So that's what you can select from. Are you taking all of the firewood, Karina?
Yeah.
Okay. So Karina's got the firewood. Yeah.
But
so
4 light.
No, it'll be normal.
So 4 normal.
No. Again, however much of a resource you're carrying, it always just counts as 1 normal item.
Okay.
And it should be set up that way on the character sheet already. The resources are on the right above where your trade goods are.
Like consumables?
Your consumables, exactly. So torches is firewood.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so if you put that as a D12.
Got it.
Anyone else wish to take anything that's in the boat?
Did we say we've got the furs, the clothing?
If you're taking the
We've
furs,
already got
just
all that?
add cold weather or what do they call it? Fur clothing. It is called great fur. Just add a great fur to your list of items. It's a normal item, sort of a normal weight.
Okay.
Hender, do you want to pass off any? If you are going to take a cold weather or the great fur, do you want to pass off any of your gear for have someone else carry?
That's different than sleeping fur.
Sleeping fur is is like a bedroll.
Okay. I think he's good.
Don't need the cold weather clothing? Well, the thing is, if you're not wearing cold weather clothing, you will have to make cold rolls more often.
Oh, he has warm-blooded, so he rolls half as normal.
Half as normal, but what that means is like every quarter.
Well, then I'll take the fur, I guess.
Yeah, the reason that matters is because if you, it's great that you only have to make them every 2 times, but if you're not dressed for the elements, then you have to roll every quarter, whether because you're just not dressed for it.
I've got another 0.5 available if you want to pass something off to me to hold for
Gonna
you.
say I've still got 3, so anyone wants me to carry something?
I suppose I could help you with your gear.
No, I'm the dwarf. You're the elf.
I'm not an elf. That's fine.
half elf.
Okay, so then you can picture you're on the beach and prying all this stuff off. There unfortunately there may be something on your ally. I mean, you guys haven't searched the body as of yet. Whoever is feeling like you need to take every advantage that is offered, you can go ahead and there is on the dice roller, there's a D6 on there. If anyone wants to search the body before you leave, go ahead and roll that, and I will tell you what you find.
It's like 2d6 and then...
No, just in the middle, underneath the...
Yeah, I got it.
Got it. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a D6 underneath the dice roller. Okay, so what you find
Interesting die.
is a... Ooh. You find he was wearing calfskin gloves. Now, while that's not going to have any mechanical modifier, they would be worth 3d6 silver for sale. So if anyone wishes to take that, they are welcome to do so. Then, you guys...
What sort of size were they, Kev?
Probably human-sized. So,
Well.
I mean, I think anyone other than Hender could probably fit their hands into them, and Hender's would just be very big. Tirgar's would be very tight, but it doesn't strike me as a calfskin glove type. Now, in the mountains, you are able to travel 1 hex per quarter. So that means if you travel directly towards the nearest settlement that you're aware of, that would be 1, 2, 3 days. What you could do as well is try and cut across, do 1 day there, 2 days to there, and then you can travel 2 hexes across the tundra. It'd be halfway through the 3rd day that you'd reach there. So you would, depending on whether you want to go down into the tundra and make your way north, that could be a could cut some time off. It could cut 1 quarter off of your total travel time. Each terrain has modifiers for hunting and foraging and for getting lost as well. So, do you think?
Yeah, I think
Oh, so wait.
I was just gonna say, Kev. I think we want to cut across them, get out the mountains as soon as possible. I would think, and cut across.
I agree.
Happy with that.
Yeah.
If we get through the mountains and we keep them on our right, we should be able to find that town.
Caster's Edge
turn around.
does run all the way down here, so for these, you're going to have to go past these because it's hundreds of foot drop down from the glacier.
Right.
So you will need to make your way over to here first, and then make your way through.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For it. The other thing is there's one other neat mechanic, a pride. This is sort of like a role-playing thing. Once per session, you can draw on your pride and roll a d12. D12 and add that to any roll. D12 matters because if you roll, I think it's a 10 or higher, it counts as 2 successes. And a 6 is all you need to count as a success. So the examples for pride, I'll just go for each of the classes, were professions. For Karina, these are the simple ones or the options they give. You are nobler than other people and the gods love you more. You sense unnatural phenomenon before anyone else. Demons instinctively fear you. Pick one. You can pick one of those or something else. For the fighter, you never back away from a fight. You can endure any injury. You never betray your friends. For the minstrel, your songs can bring warmth to the coldest of hearts. You remember all the tales and legends of the Forbidden Lands, or your friends trust you with their lives. And for the sorcerer, nothing scares you as you've seen the world behind the veil. Whoever threatens you will die a painful death, or you have read many books and you know the ways of the world. Pick a pride that you think would be fun to draw on, but not hard to come across. This is going to be a survival kind of session. When you can call on your pride every session, so definitely try and take advantage of that resource if you can.
What page are those on?
Those are on yours was the minstrel one. It's on page 26.
Okay.
I think Virgiville has read many a book and knows the ways of the world.
Buy that. So you guys.
I'm gonna go for the sense the unnatural phenomenon.
Okay.
You can endure any injury. Will be
Nice.
Ooh, we get to pick a dark secret.
You also get to pick a dark secret, yeah. And you can whisper that to me if you'd like. So, then we can. That's where we know. And you guys are thinking you're going to make your way across. So, this is the morning of your first day in the Bitter Reach. You guys have your food, you have whatever. When do we want to roll for your resources? Will you eat first thing in the morning, or you eat when you're making camp in the evening? Like what we did in Twilight was when you were making camp is when you'd make the rolls for the resources. That work for you?
I feel like that makes sense.
Okay. So then, with your stuff collected, what would you guys like to do? Your first quarter is now upon you.
Well, unless there's anybody who feels they're more capable than I will happily lead the way.
Okay. So the rules for journeys start on page 143 of the core book, or the player's book, I should say. Each of the quarters of the day are morning, day, evening, and night. If you are leading the way, then that is, you're the Pathfinder, and you actually get a bonus with that too, Virtual, from one of your talents. During each quarter of the day, someone can keep watch as well. That makes use of the scouting skill, which I think Karina is best at.
Fairly, yeah.
And then there's not other tasks that you can do during that time. While you're hiking, like hiking is a restricted one, so there's only certain things you can do. But what we did in Twilight 2000, I'd carry over to this, is you can have people assist, and that'll basically grant +1 to whoever's making the roll. So Tirgar and Virgiville, do you wish to? You can both help Virgiville with the lookout. You can both, or with the finding the way. You can both help Karina with being the lookout, or you could split it between the two. What are you guys thinking?
I mean, just having a look at it, does say in there those two you can't help, but
oh, do that? Okay.
Yeah, lead the way and keep watch. I think the only two that you can't help with.
Okay.
Can you do any foraging?
No, you
hiking?
can't. Not while you're traveling. No, cannot hike at the same time you want to forage.
What about explore? Let me have a look.
Explore.
I say you're best carrying them bags, dwarf. Don't overstretch yourself. Stick to what you know. Humping stuff around from pillar to post.
All right. Now, one unique feature of the Bitter Reach that is in Forbidden Lands is the weather. So, fortunately, we are starting today. There is no wind yet today. However, the fog, the ice fog that hangs in the air, is going to be the equivalent of a heavy snowfall, which means -2 to lead the way. You will not need to make an endurance roll because the ice fog doesn't affect that. And because you guys are all dressed for the weather, you're not going to need to make an endurance roll for the cold. So then, first things first, Virgiville, would you give us your find the way or your survival roll, please?
Right. Okay.
So once you set up the dice, before hitting roll, subtract 2 base dice from that because of the ice fog.
So I'm gonna hit survival.
Yeah. And then it'll populate your dice pool,
and I got to take 2 off.
Yeah, take 2 white dice away
to 3.
Yeah, and then go ahead and click on.
And I've got Pathfinder.
Oh yeah, +1. Yeah, so add 1 back in.
1 back in, so I should have 4 +2 for the skill. Yeah, so 6 dice in total. So
sounds good. Go ahead and click Roll API.
There we go.
There you go. So 1 success is all you need from this. You could push the roll. I don't know why you would do that.
No.
Okay.
Only to generate willpower for my magic pool.
Nice. And
but I won't push it.
For Karina, you are keeping watch. Would you kindly give us a so you're going to populate a scouting roll in there. I can't remember if did you have any talents that give you any modifiers to that?
I don't believe so. I
don't think so, because you got like chef, you got psychic, something or other. You're young, so you've only got 3.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so then you're also going to take 2 white dice away from the ice fog. It makes it hard to see stuff.
So from base, go down to 6 from 4.
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay.
And
roll with
Be sure to keep a good look out there, Karina. We want a bit better performance than that elven captain.
Yeah. Karina, and there you go. So we're looking for the successes, which is the cross swords there. That's a success. The way contested stuff works is you roll and then like one takes away from the other. But what it means is you guys are going to be moving into here. But there is something waiting.
Uh-oh.
Now, one of the neat things with the scouting rolls is as long as you are successful with the keeping watch, you generally will spot whatever is coming before it comes upon you. So you can make a decision whether you want to deal with it or encounter it, or whether you want to avoid the problem. Now, I'd ask that you guys picture, after having sat in a boat for 2 days or so, staying alive by burning stuff in a metal brazier, how grateful you are to finally be back on land, but then immediately being forced to if you're making your way into the mountains, hike down the coast, finding a way to try and get to, plumb into the mountains, and then beginning to make your way through there. You are only about maybe an hour. It's probably been about an hour and a half or so. You went down the coast before you finally found a breach in the walls that you think you could reasonably get up without climbing gear. And as you were making your way in there, you're making your way across this. It's up and down, and like the ice fog has left a layer of slick ice on almost anything that isn't just packed snow. So every stone that you would normally, one strategy that I employ in the way I look for patches of concrete so I can step on that rather than ice. But here, every stone that seems to be a solid footing, it goes out from you as if, polished. So it's a frustrating bit of travel, and you can't see that far ahead. But Karina, your keen eyes, you spy something up ahead. And this is as you're making your way into one of the kind of a not a valley, but like a plateau, I guess, like a small little plateau that will go through and then lead deeper in. What you can see is there appears to be a cabin. There is one of the first signs you obviously look for is whether there is any smoke coming from the chimney. There is not. And in fact, the door seems to be open.
Odd.
It is not a ruin. This is not a case of a dilapidated place where, it's some backwoods person built this thing and nothing, and then it just fell to ruin due to the elements and whatever else. There is just a chimney. It looks like it's it's also not a shack. This is not something where one woodsman or backwoods person would see this. What would you guys like to do?
Reno pointed out to Virgiville. Maybe there's somebody lives out here. They must have a track or something that leads them back to civilization somewhere. Maybe we can follow that.
What you can see, I guess you'd have to get closer to see if there are what the tracks might be. But there is nothing leading in from your direction.
Well, perhaps we should investigate. What say you?
I think it's kind of fortuitous we find a cabin this close to our landing. Gods must be smiling on us after that horrendous trip at sea.
Maybe.
So what would you guys like
Well,
to do?
unless anybody objects, I say we push onto the cabin.
Agreed.
Are you making any effort to try and conceal yourself, or are you just following a direct path directly up towards the cabin?
I mean, can we see much around the cabin? I mean, is there...
With the
Just
ice fog, it makes
yeah.
it difficult to see. It is surrounded by rime-encrusted trees, big evergreen trees. They're fairly sparse at this. No, this is fairly close to sea level, so it wouldn't be that bad. There's going to be, copses of trees, and Lord knows what lurks within there. You've heard about dire wolves and Wendigo and all sorts of terrible stuff. Ice dragons. So who knows what might be lurking out there. But from what you can see, there's nothing. The door sits open. Because of the lack of wind, everything is still. There's just that sound. The only thing you might hear is the odd, in the cold, the cracking of the wood as trees are shifting.
Yeah. Snow sliding off the branches and stuff like that.
Yeah, what you can do is, let me see here. Let's get the character sheet out. You could give us another scouting check, Karina. Or anyone can, I mean, for that matter, but she happens to be quite good at it. If you want to try and reconnoiter and get a little more. One thing with the game mechanic too is that you'll find they really encourage you to not make dice rolls unnecessarily. So if there's something a character might do, it's usually if there's something good or bad that could come from, or interesting at least, that can come from a dice roll, that's when we make a dice roll.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. She'll definitely look around again to see. First glance, it seems fine, but who knows in these mountains?
Okay.
Same with the -2.
No, you're close enough now. I think that you're not. Okay. The ice fog's not going to be impacting that. So go ahead and give us a scouting roll. All right. So this is interesting. So you got no successes, but what you can do is push that roll. It means that you would be suffering, because you rolled a 1 on one of your base dice. You'd be suffering a minimum of 1 point of damage, but you'd also get a willpower point for that. Which means spells later on, and it will give you a chance to re-roll everything that's not a 1.
Okay, let's go ahead and push that then.
Okay, so click on that blue button. There you go, you got your success. So I'll tell you what, so the scouting is it empathy?
Scouting is wits.
Wits, okay. So you'll see at the top you can fill in 2 skulls next to your wits. You've taken 2 points of damage, and also give yourself 2 points of willpower.
Including the one we started with, or? Including
the one you started with, yeah, add it on. You have a maximum of 10 willpower.
Okay.
So what you do is, as you make your way in, I'll tell you why this is disturbing to you. As you make your way in a little closer to see what's going on, you can see that there are tracks out here. They're a little soft, so it looks like maybe a light snowfall has filled them over, or perhaps just wind blowing things over. But what you can see, there are definitely signs of a battle in here. Wood that's built out here will obviously, discolor in the elements and whatnot. So it's easy sometimes to spot when the interior of wood has been exposed by blade strikes or claw attacks or things like that. There are several markings near the door on that. There's also the lock. What seems to be on the door has busted away. Part of the frame is frayed in. And what you can see now too is that on the door, this is what is the disturbing part. On the door, there are carvings in there. And they seem to be made with some kind of sharp implement, but you know what it represents. This is the telltale sign of an attack by the Misgrown. Misgrown are the twisted human followers of demons. They bedevil the Ravenlands to the south. The fact that they have pushed through the winding ways or slipped through into here Whoever lives here, it is very likely that they are no longer here, and you would guess it is no more than maybe half a week that this attack took place. There is no sign of any life within, whether the original inhabitants or the Mistgrown.
I'll head back to the group and say, well, it's, by the grace of the gods, we didn't run into whoever attacked this place, but not only do we have to contend with the elements, but now there's cultists somewhere in these mountains.
Well, more importantly, the Mistgrown are, the name partly comes from the fact that their bodies are warped by it too. They are physically transformed by the presence of basically think of any kind of like demonic or like undead-esque thing from any 80s metal cover. That's basically what the Mistgrown kind of look like.
So easy to spot. Got it.
Very, you would not mistake them. They can try and disguise themselves sometimes, but it's, you know, it's the like proverbial, you know, guy in a giant pile of rags who comes into town. So Karina comes back, and what you guys can see is that she is shaken by what she has seen, obviously. Now,
No signs of life.
Mechanically speaking, too, any one of these things, the game really heavily leans into the old school sandbox of randomly generating everything. So there may be shit in there that was not taken by the Mistgrown.
Yeah, I was going to say we probably want to loot that place for resources. We'll get some tip.
I wasn't going in alone, so that's a group decision.
Tigger.
I draw my axe. Let's get on with it.
Lead the way.
Start strutting towards the cabin.
Okay. So you make your way towards the cabin, and all of you, as you get closer, can recognize what it is you see on the carved into the door. This is Hendry. I think this is what you expected up here. Hender is, of course, it would be strange for an old halfling to be making his way this far north. Seems that he might know more about this than what even learned Virgiville does. But as you are making your way in, what you find is this is otherwise a fairly simple. They have it. It's a testament to the tenacity of the inhabitants here that they managed to dig into the earth here and have a small root cellar. What you will find in here, would someone give us whoever is feeling greediest, give us a D66 roll, please?
I'm keeping watch for demons and cultists.
Okay, there we go. 32. Okay. Oh, that's on Game Master Guide.
Wonder why they chose a D66.
Because you're that way you can play the game with two
matrix. It's a matrix.
Oh.
Like 6 across. It's like a table.
Mm-hmm.
Matrix.
It's a common part of, if not all, most of their games.
It's like a D6 version of a percentile, where you roll 2 D10s. It's the D6 equivalent. So your tens and your units.
First time seeing it, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, right.
All right.
It's a bit of a Games Workshop thing as well. Back in the day, Necromunda and all that always had D66 tables.
Cool. I never played Necromunda, so that I missed out. Yeah, I missed out on that one era of like the middle 90s or late 90s version of stuff from it. I missed out. I've got like first edition Warhammer Fantasy, first edition like Rogue Trader 40k, and then I kind of dropped out for several years, so I missed a whole bunch of cool shit in the middle. But Hender, as you're looking around in here, what you find fallen underneath one of the beds that is in here, there is a silver necklace, and you would estimate. This would be worth 11 silver. So you pull this thing out. There are also, now let's see here, I don't think I've got.
Anything else curious about it? Like,
Yeah, give us another D66
okay.
check here.
Oh,
Or D66 roll.
Okay.
Oh,
maxed out.
that's fucking awesome. There is something truly exceptional about this, Hender. You're looking at this thing, and there are markings that are in here that you're fairly certain they are Elvish. And why don't we do this? Why don't you give us a lore check, please? See what you can learn of this.
I don't need to bump. All right.
Yeah, I think it's just a flat out.
No.
Want to push that?
Yeah, there's no. So far, no ones, right?
Yeah.
One. I don't know anything about it. It's
Okay,
very
but you do get a
mysterious.
willpower point from it, and you'll take 1 point of damage to your wits.
Which, yeah.
And I'll tell you, there's just you're not
me a
certain
headache.
what this is. There is something
Eye strain.
Yeah.
you can. Well, I think what it is that just it's the recognition of what this thing is. Like this has got to be. This is like markedly out of place for the rest of this domicile. There's something. You just have an inkling, I think, Hender, that this is the kind of thing that someone would most certainly come looking for. There may be something unnatural about this. The rest of you guys, what you can find is, would you give us, let's see here, Tirgar, give us a D6 roll, please. 4, okay. So, the other things you find in here, there is an oil lamp.
Oh, that's good.
There
That's nice.
is a, let's see here.
I need fire for my magic, so if we've got stuff like lamps and torches, that's
Yeah.
I think we have
much
torches and
useful.
stuff.
Yeah, you
I
guys
mean,
have.
this is a good place. Might as well stay here. Oh, well, how far have we gone? It's kind
You've
of
gone
right.
one
We've
quarter
only
this-
done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
You also
Good shelter.
find, let's see here. So there's the oil lamp. There'll be a flint and steel, which will grant +1 to making camp during journeys.
I got the flint and steel.
I've got the firewood. I can carry that.
Yeah,
The
I'll
flint
carry
steel,
the
yeah, and flint
oil
and steel
lamp.
is a tiny item, so it'll it 1/10. There is a quiver with 1d6 of arrows in it, and the final item is a metal plate. It's a light item.
Plate.
Apart from that, the place looks to be extremely picked over.
I'm taking the metal plate too.
Okay?
Is
So that's a
there
light
any
item.
oil in the lamp or?
There is enough for, let's see here. I think there'll be enough for 1 quarter. It's probably fairly burned down. You likely found it turned on its side as well. So some of the stuff come out. Let's say there's 1 quarter day worth of light in it. Okay. Anything else you guys wish to do here?
If we got all the stuff, somebody picked up the fire still.
Which fire? Or the flint and steel? Or
The flint and steel, yeah, the fire
grabbed
steel
it.
bit.
Yeah.
You got it.
Karina's got it.
Got the necklace. Got the plate. You picked up the plate.
Virtual, if you wish to take a look at the necklace, you're certainly, I mean, I'm not sure.
I would show it if I feel like that there's some, arcane or whatever you call it in this world, properties to it. I will hand it to Bergeville. I tell him that this there's something special about this necklace. Notice the Elven script, but its use or what that means escapes me. Perhaps it is more esoteric.
If when you do that, if an item is charged with magical power, I automatically sense that, apparently, as a sorcerer.
Same for druid, yeah.
There is most definitely something. There's a magical connection here. If you'd like to give us a lore check, you may know more as well.
Okay. My character she's gone again.
I'm not above spending some willpower to actually sense magic on it if needed.
But do you have to sense willpower to do that? Or use willpower?
The spell,
to get
yeah.
detailed information, yeah.
So what happens when you spend the willpower? Does it go away?
Spell automatically goes off. We roll a number of dice equal to how many willpower points you spend. On a 1, there's a magical mishap. Otherwise, a 6 will grant extra power to it.
Jeez, this thing is like...
Ooh. Do you wish to push that, Birchville?
Get some points for your spells next if you do.
Yes,
Or
I will.
possibly.
I will.
Nice.
What's that? Error?
Did you click on
Oh,
Carl?
you clicked on mine, not
did I?
yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says
Oh, did I?
you clicked on mine or the second enter roll. It's good. Yeah,
There you go. And there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you are going to suffer one point of damage. Yeah, it's from the base. Sorry, 1 point of damage to your wits, but you'll gain 1 willpower. So this is most definitely it is a marking from the Winter Elves. In the setting, there are different kinds of elves. The Winter Elves are one that those in the southern lands, both in the Ravenlands, where the Forbidden Lands general, the box set takes place, and then the Alderland, which is, I think, south of that, which is one of the main kind of kingdoms in the thing. The Winter Elves are mysterious and have been gone for, centuries. But what you know, Virgil, in your studies, is that they had a strange connection to frost dragons. To the point where they actually, is it ice dragons or frost dragons? Frost dragons would serve as the like minions or mounts to the more powerful winter elves. They had a pact and they were intensely loyal to them. This, and dragons in this setting are intelligent creatures, like they're not, base animals. This may be some kind of prized trinket, a marking of the relationship between a winter elf and its frost dragon companion.
Oh, I see.
Which means this is quite ancient, it is quite valuable, and it likely has a magical resonance back to the dragon from whose hoard this was taken. So how do you communicate that to Hender?
Well, I relay that information just to kind of show off my knowledge a little bit, really.
Yeah.
Just to explain it, kind of like human-splain it to him. Oh, well, of course, if you'd been a human, you'd have known all this kind of thing. But he is an old and fairly wise halfling. I will give him a little bit of respect for his age, to be fair.
Yeah. Hender has also traveled extensively as well. Yeah. He's got the wanderer talent, which really just means he can push himself to travel further, but he has been far and wide and seen many things.
I bet he's got that skin like boot leather.
Yeah.
It's pretty old.
Yeah. Karina, I'm picturing you're kind of at the door keeping an eye out for that. Is anyone taking the arrows? Arrows count as a resource like the torches or food or whatever. There is no bow here, but...
Does anyone have a bow?
No.
Yeah.
I think
I'll carry him just because we can trade him or
Okay.
Right.
do something with him.
For your resources, put a D6 under arrows.
That's cool.
That counts as a normal item.
Yep.
Okay.
I was thinking, gentlemen, perhaps, being as this is such a fine shelter, perhaps we should just rest here for the day and call it a day, and maybe push on with a fresh start. What I see no sense in enduring a night in the wilderness when we could gather our thoughts and take advantage of this place for some rest tonight.
Yeah, my old bones agree.
So what that means too is you guys can choose to spend, if you're not spending another quarter
Make a
traveling,
fire.
you can, for one thing, you're going to make a camp, and you're going to get a bonus because you're using existing lodge. But it also means you have a quarter where no one's needing to sleep, no one's needing to rest. You can hunt, you can forage, and in this setting, you can also forage for torches. Normally, foraging is to recover vegetables or things like that. That can be cooked. But in this, you can forage for like dung or
Fuel or whatever for the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Karina is slightly disappointed because she likes the rough and tumble of the outdoors. She doesn't speak up much, but she says, this place has been attacked once and they know where it is, so if they see smoke, it might draw their attention.
You need to have a fire, just to give context, you would need to have a fire wherever you are to stay alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So,
But just people died here within the last week.
You worry too much, Karina. This is a good, solid place. I feel sure we could defend it.
These are demon worshippers. That should make you feel uncomfortable too.
Yes, well, they can worship what they like when I pull the air from their lungs.
Oh,
They
fine.
bleed. They bleed like everything else.
When you go hunt, I'll get a fire started and get ready to cook something.
okay. So
We
then,
can make this our first stronghold.
It'd take long. Okay, so then for the second quarter of the day, it sounds like Karina is going to make camp. Other activities are you could hunt. You can't fish because there's no, what do you call it? There's no streams or whatnot here, and you're away from the coast. You're moving inland. You could forage or search for fuel if you want to supplement your food. There's any other task you wish to do during that quarter, you can feel free to suggest it. What are you guys thinking?
I'm going to help on the foraging because I'm probably not very good at it on my own, so I'm just going to assist
Okay.
to give an extra dice.
I mean, you could also, if you want to avoid, someone needs to keep watch during each thing too, unless you wish to run the risk, and that's a scouting roll.
Yeah, it's not particularly good at that either.
So making camp is a survival check, I believe.
I'm decent at that, but I mean, if somebody else wants to do it, I can keep watch.
Well, yeah, more to the point is that if someone else, making camp is a survival roll, and I'm going to give you a plus, I think a +3 gear check this because you've got a cabin you're using now.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be better suited to that. Just
yeah.
because
Okay.
I'd
I'll
find it
keep watch
easier,
to make sure
probably.
nothing.
Okay. Virgil and Hender, what would you guys like to do with your time?
Do we have a chef amongst us?
Karina's a chef.
Ah, do you know you can craft field rations? The chef can craft field rations with
We had
fire.
stuff.
Yeah, you need some meat and fish or vegetables, and you can spend a quarter day.
Roll 1d6, and then that many gets converted into food.
Do we need like fresh stuff to do that though?
You do need stuff, so someone would
Yeah,
need to.
so-
You can forage for vegetables, you can forage for fuel, and you can hunt to get meat.
Yeah, so I think Hender is probably he's best to look, forage for fuel.
For fuel,
That's probably that's what he's probably gonna do. I mean, he stays around the cabin, looks for firewood or other things to burn.
Yeah. Well, it's actually in this setting. It is. Let's see here.
We had a cabin. They probably had a stash of firewood somewhere.
But it's probably buried in the snow, so hopefully
Yeah.
Hendrik can find it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it
Yes.
got Maybe it got scattered. Maybe your demons took it.
Yeah, and here, so fuel for fires in the Bitter Reach are peat, which is harvested on the coast, dried droppings collected from reindeer or waddler birds. It's very uncommon to burn wood since the material is so scarce in the Bitter Reach. So, and that's a
You'll be
good point,
digging-
Carl. I'll give you,
Digging for poop.
yeah, so I'm going to give you a gear bonus for that because you're near, they would have some kind of like a midden heap for fire, for burnable offal. Virtual, what are you thinking of doing with your quarter?
So what skill is that, by the way? So I
Yeah,
can set
we'll
it
just
up.
we're just going to determine what everyone's going to do, and then we'll make the rules.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Okay.
I think I might
I'll
try
put
and
the-
find some food. Maybe there's some of these blueberries or something knocking around.
Foraging for food, yeah, absolutely.
Then I can prep it with the second quarter, and then we can sleep.
Yeah.
And it's neat, the fuel, so you're right about the you can forage for water as well too. Although if you've got access to snow and you've got fire, you need a pot, which I don't think you guys have. But you would need something to be able to melt the snow.
Hey,
We could rig something up with that metal plate.
yeah, I was like, how strong is Tigger's fingers? Can he?
Tirgar is
Can he
actually,
just-
crafting is a strength check.
Oh well, how big's a plate? Because it's putting me at almost encumbered, so it's probably fairly large.
Why doesn't, so if you want to spend your quarter crafting that like a bowl out of that metal plate, Tirgar, you could do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we
certainly
still
give
need
it a go.
to set up camp.
Well, who's keeping watch then? You're keeping
Keep
watch. Yeah. So again, you guys have an extra quarter. You guys could spend this quarter doing this stuff, and then next quarter set up camp.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do.
Okay.
So I'll keep watch. Tirgar will craft the bowl. Virgur's foraging. Hender's getting fuel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with Hender. Then we'll go right to left on the screen. This is going to be a survival check, and I'll give you a plus. Once you set that up, add +2 gear dice to that. 3 gear dice.
Who's this?
For you, Hender, it's a survival check, and you're going to add +3 gear dice, the black dice.
Yep.
And then hold on, it's actually modified by the terrain. So one sec here. Because the mountains are not great for foraging, from what I remember. -2, so reduce your white dice by 2.
Okay. Wait. So skill is 2.
So,
yeah, white. It doesn't.
so if you click on the skill, if you click on survival, it'll populate what
Yep.
you've got as your base.
Got it.
Reduce white by 2, increase the black by 3.
Black by 3, and
And then just click roll API.
White by 2.
Yes, please.
Oh. I think that's right.
Pretty cool setup for
Oh, yeah.
modifying your dice.
Yeah.
I think I just get the survival. I just get the dice then.
The upside, though, is that because you're getting gear dice and not base dice, less chance of a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
of a consequential 1 at least. And then just click on roll API when you're ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't find any.
Oh, hold on. That. So did you click on survival?
Yeah, but you said reduce the dice by 2, right?
Oh,
So-
did you only have 2 in white dice?
Yeah. Mhm.
Well then you can push this consequence free, because like, who gives a shit if there's any failure?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
So go ahead.
Oh, it says 1. Oh, wait.
Oh
That's how many
shit.
times I pushed.
Okay, so
That's just one time push. That's just one time you push.
the reason
isn't
is there because dwarves can spend willpower to keep pushing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, unfortunately,
there's
you're
nothing.
looking. Yeah, it seems like whoever was here. I mean, even misgrown are still living things. They may have taken all the supplies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Virtual, you were going to be hunting.
Or foraging.
Foraging. In the mountains, hunting is easier than foraging. I'm not sure if that makes a difference in your thought process. Foraging is -2, hunting is -1.
Yeah, well, it makes sense to do whatever is the most beneficial.
Okay. So, whichever one you wish to do.
Is that survival?
It'll be survival, yeah. At -1 if you're hunting, -2 if you're going to be foraging.
Yeah, I'll do hunting, and it's -1 off the base dice.
Oh, hold on. You need some gear to hunt. Either ranged weapon or a hunting trap of some kind. So I guess you're gonna be foraging.
Then I'll be foraging.
Yeah, give some -2. Sorry.
Yep, you could throw arrows.
I could throw arrows.
Come here, you fucking squirrel.
He's like, equipment. I've got spells.
I'm just thinking. I don't think I've got anything to rustle up a snare.
Craftsman could put something
this
together with that. Tierguard might. I like the crafting rules in this. They're super fucking cool.
Yeah.
Flatten the edge of the bowl out, and you can throw it like a razor sharp frisbee at something.
Yeah.
All right, so for now,
Survival
I'll make a mental...
-2. So just adjust your white dice down by 2.
Yeah, so that's done. I've got no gear. So here we go.
Okay, no successes. Right now, there's no consequence. So you could push it and suffer 1 point of damage to your empathy, I think. Do you push it?
Would it be empathy or would it be wits?
I can't remember. What does survival use?
I think
Wits.
Wits.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how do you recover this damage again overnight?
As long as you spend a quarter resting or sleeping, you'll recover your all your damaged points.
Oh, wow.
We keep our willpower though, right, for the session?
Sorry?
Willpower doesn't reset, does it?
Willpower you keep until you spend it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll push it. I'll be like,
Yeah.
there must be some berries here somewhere.
Come on. Okay, so unfortunately, you just
That's
suffer.
nothing.
Yep, just 1 point of damage, and you get another point of willpower.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking around, and it's fucking valley. Whoever is living out here must be a skilled hunter, or have some other way of surviving, because there is nothing to find in this. Tierguard. Let's see if you can craft. What I'm going to roll is if up to a maximum, we'll say, of 2, you can. Every success will tell you how many resources of water you're going to be able to make with your bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's just a normal roll, isn't it?
It'll be just a normal crafting roll. Yeah. No modifiers. So that is 1 success with 2 failures. So you could push that if you like, but right now what you got is something that'll create 1 resource of water every time that you spend a quarter melting ice on it.
Okay.
You good with that? Or you want to push it?
I don't think that's too bad. Yeah.
I guess the upside is if you do push it, you're going to be generating more willpower.
Yeah. The damage.
Yeah.
Does that affect your dice rolls?
It does.
Temporarily? Yeah.
See, all the time my wits are dropping. My wits are dropping like. So, like at the start,
I don't want to reduce his strength before the night.
Okay.
No, it's not.
So you managed to hammer something together that when you're melting ice on here, each quarter you spend with a fire and melting, it'll generate 1 resource of water.
Got it.
That's not bad. That's like another D6, right? Or
yeah, it would step up your dice by 1. So somebody, if someone runs out of if their dice is exhausted, they could just take the water from that and refill their canteens.
And that's on a 1, right?
Yeah,
you drop
on a. Okay. I think it's a 1 or a 2.
1 or 2, yeah.
1 or 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
So
like Reaver.
Then Karina, would you give us a what do you call it? A scouting check, please.
Yeah, I think she's gonna try to find a spot up on the roof so she can watch all around.
Sure.
But that's just for narrative purposes.
Yeah.
Okay, got that populated. Any penalties from the fog still?
The ice fog would still be here, yeah, so you -2. Because you're trying to keep a draw distance kind of thing. You want to push that?
I've already got. Well, yeah, I'll get some spells, and hopefully we don't get into an ambush tonight. But yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. Nothing.
Nothing.
All right. So, what
Did I
you
take one
find
damage
is
from
that.
that?
What's that?
Did I take 1 damage from that?
No, because only if you roll ones, and only if
okay.
you roll ones on your base dice. Ones on your skill dice don't matter. And in fact, ones on your skill dice, you can re-roll those. It's only ones on your gear dice and ones on your base dice. You cannot.
Gotcha.
All right. So you guys tell us what's happening as you guys all come back from. Virgiville comes back from a quarter of foraging. Both Hender and Virgiville, nothing. Karina has kept an eye out. No one seems to be coming in. Evening begins to be settling in here. The sun has moved across the sky. The only, I guess, positive outcome from this, these 6 hours, has been the happy sounds of Tirgar as he's battering away on that metal plate to make the thing to melt ice.
I feel like Virgiville, being an elementalist, I think he's quite mercurial in his countenance.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't find stuff when he's foraging, he comes back, he's like a grumpy teenager stomping about and
it's a reminder.
Quit with that banging, dwarf. Incessant banging.
Once per session, remember, you can draw on your drive to roll a d12 and add the results to after a dice roll, even after you pushed it. So that none of these are particularly consequential. You guys are still doing well. So we're heading into the evening now. So sometime today, if you have someone who you want to keep watch overnight, they may want to sleep now and then be up for the night. Someone needs to make camp during this quarter as well. And fortunately, Korean's got nothing to cook. And then you guys could spend another...
Oh, don't rub it in! Don't rub it in, Korean!
I'll take my rest now and watch overnight if that's fine with everyone.
Well, so there's a difference between resting and sleeping. Resting is just like you're still awake and you recover your attributes. Sleeping is what you need to do once per day. You are fully unconscious for that period. You can also choose, even though you failed in the foraging before, you can do that again. You can take a second pass at it while people are making up camp.
Who's good at making camp?
That's survival as well.
Yeah, I mean, I volunteered to it because I'm not great at survival, and because we've already got a hut, we'll get a bigger bonus.
Yeah, you're gonna get +3 gear dice on because of the house, and you get +1 because of the
push it as well.
So Tirgar volunteered to do camp, did he? Oh, I missed that. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, keep watch, scouting.
Now, keeping watch is what it means is that you have a chance to spot whatever encounter might be coming. You will, when you are stationary for the rest of the day, I only roll for one encounter. So it'll be either during the evening or the night, if that's where you're going to be resting or staying in one place. If you don't, all it means is that it doesn't mean that they're going to ambush you. It just means that you guys will both come upon one another without any warning. So your choice as to whether you wish to keep watch or not.
Virgiville will volunteer to keep watch, secretly thinking, that'll get me away from these people busying themselves, making all sorts of noise. I'll sit up on the roof and stew in my own juices for a while.
Okay. So Tirgar's making camp. Karina's going to sleep. Is that right? Yes. Okay, and then...
Now the banging on the plate's over with.
Yeah. What would Hender?
I guess Hender could keep watch while Karina sleeps. Virgiville is doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
I don't know. He doesn't really have anything.
You can forge again if you like.
It's like, but he's like, he's not very good at it. He's already heard it. Got his hands all cold from it. So his arthritis is acting up.
What I would say too, let me just double check I can't remember what the morale.
He's got healing. He's good at performing.
Oh yeah, hold up. Because
there's no animals to be empathetic with. He can throw a knife pretty well too.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Healing. A person who has their strength or agility reduced cannot act any further. If you apply healing skills and your roll succeeds, they get on their back and immediately recover a number of attribute points equal to the number of successes you roll. So healing really only becomes useful when they're actually broken. And ditto performance is what you use to do that for wits or empathy.
Okay.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that... I'll bet you there's a talent that allows you to do that when you're in camp too. That we just haven't used yet because...
Has anybody got Mask of the Hunt?
No,
it's a thing?
A talent? No.
Yeah, no.
So anything we should do, Hender, or...
I guess you can rest to get your stats back, can you?
Yes, you could, yeah.
If just in case you don't get a proper night's sleep, sort of thing.
Yeah, I could rest.
Maybe.
Okay.
I have. Well, let me see. I have Path of the Hymn. Willpower to have a comrade recover a broken, but there's no one is broken yet, right?
No one's broken yet. No.
Yeah. So. Yep.
That's
Yeah. Maybe I'll just rest, or maybe he'll just like fall asleep.
You can sleep. Yeah, you could have two of you guys keeping watch if you like.
Maybe he was just like over there, just planning on doing something, and just started nodding off because he's old.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could make torches. You can make.
No, we don't have anything to make torches with. I couldn't find any firewood.
We bought some though. We're carrying firewood that you could fashion into torches.
They count as the resource is the same, so you could use one or the other.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, then if Hender's going to sleep and Karina's going to sleep, then you guys will both recover all of your stats. Tirgar, would you give us a survival check at +4 gear dice between the flint and tinder and the cabin? Look at that. Incredible.
And no hurts for that either.
No, that's awesome. Okay,
Wow.
so, you can help with making camp as well too, so people could add dice. I'm just trying to see if there's any benefit you get from rolling extra dice. I think what you do is it is a fantastic. You do a fantastic job of laying this place out. There's a lot to work with, I guess.
Can I try and secure the windows and door a little bit more, just in case any of these misgrown come back or something?
Yeah, absolutely. You managed to get this is your dwarven craftsmanship coming back into play, and you get the doors back on, probably better than it was hung before. Let's have everyone roll their food. Let's see if that is reduced.
Okay.
So you just click on it, and it should roll automatically for you. Oof. Tirgar's goes down by 1. Karina's goes down by 1. Virgil is okay. And Hender is okay. Okay, so you're reduce your food down to a D6, please, Tirgar and Karina. And then everyone roll their water.
I was expecting Virgil to bring us some food to make, so I ate too much.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Listen, Elf, pipe down.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with my foraging skills.
Hender is out
There's
of
just
water right
nothing
now.
here. There's nothing here.
Do you want to give the water that Tirgar prepared? Do you want that to go to Hender?
Yeah.
Okay, so Hender, you're back with a D6 of water.
okay.
Okay. Then would you, Karina, give us a roll on the torches? Let's see how much fuel you've used up today. No, you're good. Okay. So that passes. That's good use of your little still.
Mm-hmm.
In
job,
the
Trevor.
evening, so first in the evening we have Virgil keeping watch. Would you give us a scouting roll, please? I don't think there's any penalty for being unskilled in anything in Forbidden Lands. You just roll your base dice. Okay. Do you wish to push that?
You'll be sleeping soon.
You'll push it? Okay. Okay. So, for the evening, Virgil, the where this plateau where this seems to be located, it really seems like there is almost like the ice fog is crowding in on it. The way that it hangs on the in here, it's almost like it is pushing in even closer than what you've been traveling, so the distance you can see is even more limited, and in night it's even getting thicker. So as much as you are sitting up for the evening, trying to keep an eye out, like you would not see anything until it was within several paces of you.
Virgil just mumbling to himself, well, this is a massive waste of my time sitting up here freezing my nuts off and I can't even see beyond the end of my nose. Whose idea was this anyway? God.
Wasn't mine.
So then with that, apart from Virgil's grousing outside...
you can probably hear this muffled mumbling coming through the rafters.
I think it was your idea.
Both Hender and Karina are able to get a quarter of sleep. So both of you guys can recover all of your attributes.
Okay.
And then for the evening, I think you guys are trading off. Are Virgil and Tirgar sleeping while Hender and Karina keep watch?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I think
And I'm aiding Karina. I don't know if
Yep, absolutely. So then Karina, go ahead and give us a scouting check. Tirgar
Gotcha.
and Virgil, you can recover all of your lost attributes as well. Karina and Hender give us Karina give us a scouting check and add 1 to your base dice from Hender.
My base dice is at a 6, so 7. There we go.
Nice.
Okay.
I imagine he's helping her stay awake on a boring duty by telling her tales of far-off places and...
Yeah. All right. Then with that, guys, that evening, nothing happens. However, the following day, I'll just tell you, we'll take our mid-session break in a second here. I can't believe we're already there.
That's mad.
Yes, I mean, just a lot of information on the way the game is played, right? But I think once you get the procedural going...
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I really like how Free League has really dug into that sort of procedural survival. It's like that game Wilderness or that classic game.
Yeah.
That all the old school people loud about is how to do a wilderness exploration. But
it's great.
Really
it captures all the stuff I love about like old school sandboxing, but it streamlines a lot of stuff and it gives some innovative ways of dealing with it. So the weather comes in today, guys. There is a pretty strong wind, which means that fortunately you're all dressed for the cold. If you weren't, it'd be harder. Making camp outside is going to be a bitch today. You'll have -2 to making camp outdoors, and you're going to need to make an endurance roll to hike for a quarter day. This wind is so strong. The snowfall is light today, meaning that it's going to be -1 to lead the way, and then it is bitter fucking cold. So even with adequate protection, you will have to make an endurance roll to avoid being cold. Hender, this is your first one of the day. You will not need to make that until 2 quarters of travel.
2 quarters of travel.
And because of your warm weather clothes, you guys are all gaining +2 to your endurance rolls against cold from the gear. You may have other things you choose to do too. So that is the weather you wake up to. Like you can, Hender or Tirgar has done an amazing job of securing the thing. But when you guys look outside the cabin window, it's just like, light snow is just going by, almost like streaks of little lines of white as those hard pellets are going, and it's frosted over.
See Karina looking up outside, hands on the glass, like, I'm glad we did not camp out there last night.
That would have been ugly.
Yes.
All right, so why don't we take our mid-session break now, guys, and we'll come back and see how day 2 fares. So for those listening at home, we'll be back momentarily. All right. Oh yeah. What was it? One? Yes, one water. Oh yeah, you actually. That's right, Carl. You guys would have got one more water ration from that second quarter, so you guys can decide who you want to distribute that to.
I still have a D8, so I think I'm good. So if anybody has a D6, probably give that to them.
I know Hender has a D6, just from what he rolled before. Who else? Tirgar also has a D6 of water. So probably either the halfling or the dwarf. You'd want to distribute that extra one to bump the dice up.
I'll take it, just so we don't forget.
Okay.
I'll do it now. Yep.
Okay. All right.
The rules for this are pretty fun. Can't wait to see how combat goes.
Well, and it is very. There's actually two different. We're going to be using the more simplified version of combat for today because it's easier. But there is another more complicated, like secret bidding dueling system that you could do that can be really exciting.
Almost like a rock paper scissors kind of idea, isn't it, sort of thing?
Yeah, like you can choose to go all out on an attack, but like because you blind bid, like you can decide to be really defensive, or it's really cool.
I wasn't sure how easy it'd be online. Have they got
For
the card
yeah, there are
system
cards.
set up?
Yeah, there's I don't know if there are cards for that. Actually, you know what? While I'm thinking of it, I don't have. I don't have it, but I don't think there is a Forbidden Lands thing. But I'm gonna grab my.
Is there cards for the initiative though?
There's cards for the initiative.
there's cards for initiative. Mm-hmm.
But what I can do is they don't have one for Forbidden Lands, at least not an official one. But what I can do is grab the Alien one again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because that's in to the transmogrifier. Here we go. That in there.
What I like about this system is it even fairly mundane day-to-day choices are made interesting.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly gaining and losing stuff. There's this ebb and flow all the time. Yeah. So the decisions are interesting.
It's 100% the thing that hooked me on Twilight 2000 after our session. I'm like, this is just fucking amazing in play. And it's not that like there are games we played where like things there's like the story is epic or whatever else. This is just incredibly engaging. Like I just really kind of want to keep like with this and this and we'll do this and we could tweak this thing and emergent gameplay. Like who the fuck knew you would find something stolen from a dragon's hoard in this thing, right? And like the story comes from that because that's what the game is designed to do. Is to like, all right, well we know this happened, so how the fuck did this end up here? Does that relate to why the Mistground came in here? Is it completely unrelated? Did they hide that? Or was it left behind because of some kind of magical mishap? Like, who knows? I mean,
I like that. I like that. The random encounter, emergent play, right? Yeah. It's really nice. I mean, I think like in the Twilight 2000 game, after like 2 years, we don't keep track of, because there's so much access to food and water that doesn't really matter. Fuel and ammo still matters, but like just a random encounter, and the group now has like a Soviet howitzer in their arsenal. So,
So there's, Carl, there are some mechanics. I don't know if you picked it up or you backed it or whatnot from Walking Dead, where they incorporate a lot of, rather than having random encounters, they have challenges that sort of trigger. And some of those can be the traditional encounter things, but other ones can be like, other survivors in camp who are NPCs will each have secret kind of goals and stuff. So and then those challenges can trigger and start manifesting. So it's, there are definitely a ton of great ideas you can steal from that to make life in camp a little more dynamic with Twilight 2000. Yeah. That game.
That last session you had. Was that only last weekend?
Yeah, last weekend.
Yeah. That nearly cost me. I was sorely tempted to get the starter set following, but I resisted. I held firm. I resisted.
Well, it's a whole complete thing. It's nice.
It's very well done. Yeah, it's a fucking great game.
I think. Well, I have all editions of the Twilight 2000. So first on up. So even the weird 2013 version that no one ever plays.
All right, so then morning has come, guys. How are we spending our first quarter of this day?
Well, we're gonna want to get on the march, but I guess we probably would have filled that still, the water. Still
overnight. Yeah. We actually distributed that to
ration.
Yeah, Tiergar took that ration.
Oh, nice. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
And then again, like if you run out, Hender, someone can convert their D8 to a D6 and give you a D6.
I got you covered.
That's cool.
Okay.
Do we know, Kev? Is this for the bit of reaches? How bad is this weather? I mean, is this?
This is almost as bad as it can get.
Right. Like, so I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if do we just sit tight? I mean, if you were there, would you actually leave a cabin, or would you think, no? We would be better off to sit this out. When it improves, we push on potentially with forced march to make up for lost time. I mean, is this just pure folly to go out in this kind of weather?
You could still forage here as well.
Well, we couldn't find anything yet. I guess our mentality, not metagaming it, our mentality would be we didn't find anything here. It might be even desolate.
Well, so you two didn't find anything.
Plenty of, what did you find?
I'm close to the spirits. I'll find something.
Yeah, well,
Probably won't. But that's how she feels.
I'm just putting to the group, you know, impetuous kind of demi-humans that you are, which is strange. You would think with someone like me with a shorter lifespan, I'd be more keen to rush on, but I fear that the weather doesn't get much worse than this, and it would perhaps be prudent to stay close to the cabin for now and perhaps play the long game, look for a break in the weather before we set out through these mountains.
We can force march if the weather turns and make good progress.
Yeah, if we got some good weather, we could forge on.
Has anyone got any abilities that can sort of foresee the weather in any way? Any sort of weather sense type?
It's snowing. My bones tell me it's snowing.
I look out the window. I can confirm that it is in fact snowing. It's just like nudge the halfling.
Hender would look. We have food. We have water. I mean, we look around. We have plenty of water. Really, it just takes time to gather. But
each quarter that you spend, you're generating another resource dice of or another resource of water as well because of Tirgar's kludge together.
Yeah, maybe it is better to hole up and wait for a break in the weather.
Gives me plenty of time to go foraging.
And Karina is a master forager, I hear, who's going to show me up with her prowess.
Karina might find a couple berries buried under the snow. Or a berry bush.
Let's do it.
Okay. Then that leaves you setting aside. So let's talk about just the daytime quarters. So you have 2 quarters during the day. What would you guys like to do with those?
Karina's eager to go foraging, so I think that's basically what she's going to do today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to forage as well because I want to restore my reputation as a survivalist.
Maybe we should forage together.
Okay, if you want to make separate... oh, here we go. So if you want to make separate rolls, you can't forge in the same location, which means any mishaps will affect you individually. So you guys can both do that.
They're going for food. You guys are going for food, not...
Well, and until we have food, I can't... resources, I can't make actual food for us. So...
What if we split up into 2 groups and forage in pairs of safety in numbers?
So, okay. So like for fuel and food, 2 separate groups, or food and food? Do you think we have plenty of fuel?
Your fuel is at a D12 right now.
D12, yeah.
I think the shelter will hold out. I think that's the least of our worries.
We can chop up pieces of this cabin also, right, to fuel a fire.
We really had to. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we should... Okay, well, so Hender and Tirgar and... Oh, no, Vergville wants to go by himself, right? So when I'm hearing...
No, I'll take Tirgar with me.
Okay.
All right, and Hender will help Karina.
So then, for this first quarter...
let's not stray too far. No one get lost.
Because Hender is... well, I can't remember what the talent is called, but it's you're resistant to cold. You don't need to make a cold endurance roll. Karina, would you give us an endurance roll?
Yes.
With a +2 gear dice from your warm weather clothes.
Okay. So normal endurance +2 gear.
Normal endurance +2 gear. Yeah. There you go. Good enough. So you're not cold. Then your forage roll will be basically take the normal one and then subtract. If you're doing for food, subtract 1 because you get +1 from Hender helping, and then -2 because of the mountains.
Okay. And you guys might know it, but Karina has a wide idea of what food actually is. So.
Oh, what is her talent? She doesn't have anything that benefits. No. Okay. No. All right, so right now that's a fail, but you could push it. You'd be taking minimum 1 point of damage, but you get a point of willpower.
I'm going to be pushing it because I need to show up Vergville.
Okay. There you go, success. So you take 1. What do you go? 1 point of damage to your wits, Yeah, you've gained one. Let's see here. Yeah, you gain one thing of vegetables.
I know. Could it be mushrooms?
Sure. Oh, no, it wouldn't be mushrooms in this climate.
No.
They actually give environments for... Hold on, there's actually a cool thing where they give you suggestions for what it is.
A bag of moss. A bag of moss.
Well, it's like berries...
Reindeer food.
And... What is it here?
I was thinking a spot where nobody thought to check because...
frozen roots, berries, or bird eggs. They count as vegetables.
Ooh, bird eggs.
Bird eggs. So you just roll randomly, or
so yeah. Well, no, you can just pick whatever whatever makes sense for the setting. And that's specific to the Bitter Reach, by the way. You would find normal stuff in the Forbidden Lands or the Raven Lands. What that means, and so you'll take your damage to your wits. It means that basically you can spend a quarter cooking this stuff and transforming it into 1 unit of food.
Yep, that's my next quarter.
Nice.
Unless they bring more.
Okay, Tirgar and Virgil, you guys are foraging for food as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first off, why don't you each give us an endurance check with +2 gear dice from your, what do you call it, from your cold weather gear? Yep, Virgil's fine in the cold. And, Tirgar. That's not good.
A little nippy.
You want to push that?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay.
wow.
It'll get worse.
Oh, shit. Okay, now you are a dwarf. You could spend a willpower point and push that again.
You'd have thought some of that hirsute covering of fur and beard would have helped.
Nah, I'm just going to take that. So that's...
Okay. So here's the thing, is that you'll be taking 3 points of damage from pushing to your strength, and then I believe cold also does a point of damage to your strength.
Didn't you rack up some willpower from yesterday you could just spend to reroll?
Oh.
Ooh.
So
You
here's...
get fatigue, probably.
You'd carry over the ones, wouldn't you?
Yeah, from the rolls?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd be rolling again, but here's what you're getting is cold also does 1 point to your wits.
Oh, okay.
Sure you don't want to reroll that?
So 4...
This would be 4 points of damage to your strength and 1 point of damage to your wits.
Yeah, but if I re-roll it, it could then be 5.
No, that's not pushing, This is a re-roll.
If you spend a...
push is a re-roll. You can't re-roll.
No, with a willpower.
With his dwarven willpower, he can push multiple times. It's still a push.
It's a push. It's not a re-roll.
It can't get worse, but I mean, at least you'll mitigate the cold part.
Well, if you get 1 success, does that nullify? It doesn't nullify the penalties, does it?
Oh, he did get the 1. No, it doesn't nullify the penalties. It just means you got a success. You won't suffer a point of damage to both strength and wits.
Right now, it's 4 and.
Yeah, right now it's 4 damage to strength, 1 damage to wits.
Yeah. No, I'll have to take that. I'll have to take that.
Okay.
Wait, does a black die count towards bad failures?
No, the gear dice. So the when you push a dice, the ones I can't remember if it damages
just
the gear.
Just means you can't re-roll them, I think.
It might mean that you damage the gear. Actually, let me just double check that.
Oh yeah, I think it does potentially.
Yeah,
Stop asking questions.
Dice, every so what this means a tier, oh gosh, it actually reduces the gear bonus by 1.
What is the gear we're using?
Cold weather gear. So you'd be your part of your gear, maybe like a hat blows away or something like that.
So the fur is sort of reduced.
Yeah.
You took off your mittens to get rooting around, and the bloody mitten blew away.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
How many times has that happened in real life?
Yeah, really. Okay, so do you wish to push again, or?
That's why you use a carabiner and clip them. You clip them.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so effectively your cold weather gear is ineffective anymore.
Wow.
Oh, so it's not +1; it's just gone.
Yeah, but it does. Hold on, it can be repaired though.
I'll try and repair it during the next quarter.
Yeah, if the item reaches 0, it's broken and cannot be used again until repaired.
You got to get a bit of weight off. You got to get a bit of weight off, Tirgar. You got to bend down to pick something up, and you split your pants.
All right, now who wishes to make the survival roll to forage, and who is going to assist?
Well, he ain't touching the dice. Good God!
Last time I helped this.
So Virgiville, you're going to get -1 base dice because of the climb the mountains for foraging and the +1 from Tirgar helping.
All right, so I'm on a 7 -1.
Come on.
So base dice down to 4. There we go. Right.
Success. Okay, so you find a 1 unit of berries and whatnot. Do you wish to push that? Try and get more, or right now you're not taking any damage?
It's taking 1, right?
No, because on the first roll you don't suffer any penalty from the ones. It's just like
only when you
2000.
push. Yeah, only when you push it.
Only when you push it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, upside. Tirgar, you gain 3 willpower because you took damage.
Yeah, I've stacked them up. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna push it because where there's some berries, maybe there's more.
Yeah. Here we
He
go.
sensed the challenger is
Hold on.
Oh.
Here we go. Down there. I'm in the wrong place.
Okay. There you go.
Oh.
An extra 1. Sweet. So you'll take 1 point of damage to your wits, but you recover 2 units.
I'll show that elf.
So you guys all meet up back in the cabin, having looked around, and you can see like Tirgar looks like shit. His beard is all caked in snow. His hat's gone. His coat is barely hanging off of his shoulders at this point.
Did you like fall down the mountain or something?
probably.
I didn't secure this hut so well to go out in that blizzard.
So I guess Tirgar, what you could do is you could rest and recover all your stats from this round, or for this
I guess
quarter.
that's kind of cool. You probably should. You probably should.
Is that'll repair me? I'll do that later.
He's gonna
I'll
rest
rest
while
up.
I make some food for us.
Okay, so
I
Tirgar.
thought you dwarves are made of sterner stuff.
So it's like the water thing is like we just scoop a bunch of snow and then just let it sit, right, for a quarter. Is that?
Yes, yeah. You would let that box. You could have generated another.
Yeah.
One goes
What
to
I've done is
Ender.
I've randomly generated when I'm going to check for random encounters for today.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes, I'll grab that. I'll grab that extra water.
okay, so you're a D8 on a water now, and you scoop up some more snow, put it back on the fire. So for quarter number 2, is anybody keeping watch? Karina's going to be cooking. It sounds like Tirgar, you're resting.
Yep.
What about Virgil and Hender?
Hender can help keep watch. Oh, I don't need to heal. Right.
Nope.
Right, Tear guard. Okay.
No, and I don't think you haven't taken any damage yet, have you?
Nope.
Today?
No one's taking any damage. No.
Virgil?
I'll keep watch.
Okay. So all
Bask in the glory of.
I can help. I'll help Karina. I like staying indoors. I gotta help Karina cook.
okay. So I don't think you can without being a chef. And this is an automatic thing. I don't think that chef needs to make a roll. The only thing she does need to do is, John, would you give us a D6 roll?
Absolutely.
Let's see how many you can cook for today. Only one. Only one for this quarter. So you have 3 resources of vegetables. One of those will be converted to food in this first quarter. Okay.
I'm making a base broth out of the stuff that I found so that we can make a big stew later on.
Okay. And then, so I guess Virgil and Hender are going to be keeping watch. Who wants to make the scouting roll?
Well, Virgil probably. Right. Yeah. What's your survival? Or is it survival or
Scouting.
Scouting. Yeah. I just can help you, point things out, I think.
Okay.
So that would. Oh. You can't assist on a keeping watch, can you?
I think you can.
Oh, can you?
Let's see here.
I think it's scouting and leading the way you can.
Yeah, it's when you're keeping watch when you're hiking.
Okay.
When you're hiking.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're hiking.
Let's double check that,
Oh, that's
though.
cool. So probably Hender would nullify the weather penalty then. Neutralize the weather penalty.
There's actually no weather penalty today for keeping What is there? Yeah, it's only lead the way that suffers a penalty.
Oh,
From
okay.
it. Yeah, the keeping watch
So I've got a
doesn't.
+1.
Okay.
Got a +1.
Yeah.
Is an assist a base dice?
It's just one base dice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, hold on then. Scouting. +1. So it's just a straight 5 base die.
There you go. So there is nothing that you see from today. Perhaps whatever else might be out there is keeping, is having the same good sense that you are and staying indoors on shitty weather like this. What you do hear, though, about this is partway through the afternoon, I suppose. You do hear, maybe your ears are playing tricks on you, Virgil, but you definitely hear what you think is the sound of some massive wolf's howl carried in. And you've heard stories of the dire wolves that lurk in the bitter reaches, and these are things that are about the size of a small pony. Terrifying. And quite eager to hunt human and feed on their flesh. So, fortunately, other than that, though, Tirgar, nothing else happens. You recover all of your lost attributes, and Karina, you've managed to generate 1 point of food. Who is getting that?
I suppose I'll keep it for now until I can make the other ones to make like a full. Yeah, because I'm down 1. So.
Okay, increase your food dice by 1.
All right.
And then we are into the evening. You do not need to make camp once again because you've got a camp here. But who is keeping watch? I guess first thing, because we're in the evening, why doesn't everyone give us a roll for their food? Oh, so Tirgar's.
Man, I just.
Hold on, someone rolled their water instead of their food. Virgil, you rolled. You rolled both.
Rolled,
you guys can roll both. I'm not fussed.
I rolled both.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I guess Hender's like dehydrated, right? So he's drinking a lot of water.
Just drinking a ton. All you guys are. It's a lot of work today. So Tirgar's. Oh boy, everyone other than Karina, your water's down to a D6. And
run out of food as well.
And Tirgar's run out of food. So, what are you guys doing for your quarter? Karina, how are you for your water and food? Karina is good.
I got a D6 of water left. I got a D8 of food.
Okay.
Yeah, we have two water rations though from the afternoon and evening. But
so who took the water ration from the afternoon?
No one's taken.
Wasn't it?
Nah.
No, that was in the morning.
No, but no one. So we have 2 water rations that we could distribute if we need to.
Yeah, 2 water rations, and then give us a D6 roll, Karina, if you're planning on cooking.
Yeah, I'll take one of the rations to get me back up to D8.
Okay.
Yeah, and where's everyone else with water?
I'm on a D8.
D6.
All right, so either I'm at D6 for water.
You take that one, and then I'll take the next one.
Okay. So put you at D8.
We each take one. Yeah,
so Karina will be able to, if she's cooking for this quarter, you will be able to prep all the rest of the things that were foraged. Cool. That means keeping watch and sleeping.
So that's 2 rations to hand out.
Hold on, that's at the end of the quarter.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
In case something happens.
What are Tirgar, Virgil, and Hender doing? Someone needs to sleep.
I'm going to try and repair my clothing, my furs.
Yeah. And Hender can help Virgil maintain watch again.
So then is someone...
I'll maintain watch.
Oh, well, then
I'm going to sleep, though.
Oh, sleep. Yeah, probably Hender will sleep, and he feels better staying up with Karina to help watch.
Okay.
So
Hender will be sleeping, Virgil will be keeping watch, Tirgar's going to repair, Karina's going to cook. So then, let's do this. Karina, you've prepped 2 more rations of food. Tirgar, you can go ahead and give us a crafting check. Yep. Each success restores 1 point. Back together. It ain't gonna win any beauty contest, but it's gonna keep you warm again. So you fully restored.
We'll call you Patch now. We'll call you Patch.
Yeah.
We'll put a few extra patches on as well.
Hender is not dozing in the corner. Oh, Karina, would you give us a fuel roll?
Yes.
And then we'll make Virgival's. Okay, you're good. And
got some magic wood here.
I'm gonna double check. I think the dark might modify your keeping watch. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, so Virgival doesn't have night vision, so it'll be -2 to your keep watch or your scouting roll.
Okay. So it's down to 2. Yeah, bit of a waste of time, really.
So they put 6s on these dice, and you can push.
True.
You want to push that?
You also pull on your inspiration or whatever that is, the pride, if you really want to.
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, you could on your pride. Roll a d12.
I could. You know, the other thing I could use my wits for these rolls because I'm adaptable, man. I'm adaptable.
Yeah.
I could.
I think you use different skills, don't you?
Yeah, I could if I could spin a reason why my wits could help me out. Maybe I could come up with some kind of early warning system or something like that.
What do you think? Do you think maybe your learning or perhaps your experience in the wild?
Yeah. I'm going to chalk it down to experience for now and just think, why am I sitting up here on this roof? What I need to do is blah, blah, blah. And I'll just be sitting hatching a plan.
Okay.
But I will push this because I'm keen now because I've got the bit between my teeth. I'm like, I could do a better job. I feel sure I could do a better job than just sitting up on this roof like the elf. Why am I copying the elf?
Okay.
But,
so go ahead. There you go. Look at that. So you do suffer 1 point of damage to your wits, it looks like. Wait, scouting is empathy?
That's all the fatigue on that, all the thinking.
Yeah.
My brain's been churning and churning.
Scouting. What does scouting use? Oh, it does use wits. Yeah. So you're all right. So you're down by 1, but that is probably a good fucking choice because as Hender is sleeping in the corner, as Tirgar is mending his things, as Karina is keeping eye on the stew, are you sitting outside or are you? I guess you'd have to be. In which case, actually, give us.
Yeah. Well. The narrative so far has been that Karina had set up a precedent for sitting up on the roof somewhere.
Okay.
So we've
So there's one more thing I need from you first. Then is would you give us because you're outside? You need to give us a endurance check.
An endurance
with +2 gear dice because you're.
Just sit against the chimney. It's nice and warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the gear dice, isn't it?
Yeah. So you got +2 gear dice for 2 endurance.
Two. Yeah.
That's not a bad idea, John. So do you want to push that?
Or spend your
that's
pride.
That's gonna be on my strength. No. I know, but I'll get damaged by the...
Yeah, if you'd be cold, it'd be 1 point of damage to strength, 1 point of damage to wits.
Yeah, no, I'll push it.
Okay.
Let me think. Is there anything clever I could know?
Your pride is also an option.
All right, so you take 2 points of damage.
Oh yeah, my pride. Yeah.
You're not cold, but you do take 2 points of damage to your strength.
That's not
are you broken? No, you got 3 in strength.
No, I'm just about all
so
right.
you're out there just keeping yourself. I think it's just the maybe like the discomfort of the position you got yourself in as you're pulling all your clothes in. But fortunately, what you can see is that there are 3 figures that have made their way into the valley. Or into the
plateau.
Yeah, the plateau. Thank you. And they seem to be making their way directly towards this. And you need not make any further rolls to make out the twisted and patched together armor on this. These 5 figures have made no effort to conceal that they are misgrown.
Uh-oh.
What is that? It seems that they are dragging some other pathetic souls behind them. One has a string, and there are others being pulled behind them. Because you made the recon or the scouting roll, you're able to act. You can take steps to try and avoid this encounter, but they do seem to be heading towards the cavern, or you can set up an ambush. What are you guys thinking?
Well, I immediately slide on down the roof and dash into the cabin, alert my fellows, say they're coming back, they're back. We need to maybe we bug out and hide away from the cabin.
We spend a bit out so they don't see us.
Yeah, we could. Yeah,
but they're gonna know we're. Look at all the stuff that we're leaving here. They'll know we're here.
We could knock out the lights or the fire, allow a couple in, shut the door, and split their numbers.
We got that lantern, right? That'll give us some light that we can hide to see, right?
Once they're inside.
Don't these monstrous things have this uncanny ability to see in the dark?
Some
Probably.
do, some don't. It's most don't. Most are just humans who have been reshaped by demons.
Well, one thing I could do, Virgil looks like he's worse for wear from being outside in the cold, right?
Yeah.
I could try to heal some of that damage you took.
Oh yeah, with your magic.
Yeah, his tear guard's recovered though, right?
Yeah, he's rested.
Tear guard's fully recovered.
Yeah, you guys make up a plan while I'm gonna use healing hands.
Okay.
That'll get us strength, right?
It will. So, and because you're half elf, you've got that psychic power thing.
Yeah, I'll spend 1 willpower and it'll count as 2.
Correct, which means you roll. Now, I actually don't know. I didn't set up your spells, but let me see here. The character sheet is so good. I wonder if there's a way to automatically roll willpower, so it'll tell us.
I'll have to roll it to do it.
Yeah, what you do is whatever you spend, you're gonna roll a number of d6. You're gonna roll 1d6. Let's see here.
My spell says you immediately heal a number of points equal to the power level of the spell.
Oh, so yeah. So I think if you click on the safe next to the spells,
Save.
should be because that says safe. I think that might work. Let's see. What am I? Here.
Oh, safe. Safe is when if you're a caster level 2, you can cast a safe spell. So if you're a level 2 caster, you can cast level 1 spells safely without
having to roll for a miss.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so then this is you're not overcasting, so it's just 1 willpower. So I guess you're just rolling 1 dice, a 1d6. I don't know where.
Do I have to roll to cast spells?
You don't have to roll to cast spells, but what you do is for on a 6, you'll add 1 to the level. On a 1, we roll on the miscasting table.
Gotcha.
Spells can be unpredictable in Forbidden Lands.
Oh yeah.
So with a 4, that means
well, that was me rolling that.
Okay.
I'll let you roll it.
so just
4 means nothing. Otherwise, if it's anything other than a 1 or a 6, nothing happens.
Okay, so
you
my
cast
skill.
a spell and you have no consequences, no boosting of the spell.
So, is it just my?
Just a
willpower?
d6. How much will? No. It's how much you're spending 1 willpower on this. So
Yes, but it counts as
so you're
2,
rolling
right?
1d6. Okay, so there's a difference between how many willpower points you're spending and the power level of the spell.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
roll 1d6 and let's see what the result is, and we'll tell you what happens from there.
Go ahead and do a base roll of 1. There we go.
There you go. Okay, so if you rolled a 6, John, it would have bumped the power level up by 1 more, so your power level for the spell would have been 3.
Gotcha.
Okay, and if you rolled a 1, then we'd roll a d6 on the magic mishaps table.
Okay.
Okay, so and you were doing healing hands, right?
Yes.
Amazing. So that heals 2 points. What does it look like as you cast your heal? It's the first magic we've seen in the game.
She's tied with the nature and the spirit, so I imagine she just lays her hands just on like some of his like chilled flesh, and you can just see the cold wisping off of him like fog pulling out of his flesh.
Love it. Okay, so Virgil, you can recover your 2 points of strength, and then what do you guys wish to do before they arrive here?
I just saw
Knife.
Thank you, Corinne.
Oh, and Hander was sleeping too, so you. Hander, what happens as you sort of wake up?
Oh no. Well, Hender's gonna like hide in a corner. I mean, he's probably only good at playing his flute while we fight.
So Hander,
or...
one of the things that Hander can like, while he's not like great at doing damage or whatnot, your performance is pretty fucking good. And remember, you can roll performance. Each success you roll takes a point away from the enemies. They suffer a penalty equal to however many you choose to roll.
Yeah, so he's gonna hole up in a corner, get the dagger ready to throw just in case.
Okay.
But he's gonna focus on getting his flute out to mess with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Was there a bed? Is there a bed in here?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Are we? Do we just want to like barricade and secure the doors and windows? And
they hacked through that door to start with pretty well.
Well, let them hack
slow
through.
Down.
Let them hack through again whilst they're getting the oxygen or the. I can throw down with them. I can throw some stuff at them while they're trying to hack down through that door. We don't want them to come walking in, do we?
How much notice have we got, do we think? Because would they have seen the smoke already? Would they know that there's someone in there?
They're coming here. I reckon, like 5 minutes, Kev? Something like that?
Yeah, like there's enough time for you guys to sort of make some things. They may have spotted it already, but it's also like the wind is really shitty, so the wind would be dispersing that smoke pretty quickly too.
So it's all I'm saying is we could pretend that there's no one in here, so they come in unprepared and then reveal the lamp and just have at them. And like I said, shut the door and split them so there's only 2 of them or 3 of them get in before we shut the door, and we can try and sort of divide and conquer them.
I don't know, Tour Guy. Why don't we just try and keep them out? Make them fight to come in.
Well, I'll hold the door. I'll keep them out.
Let's get that bed up there. Let's get the bed, barricade up that door. And somebody light a lantern. I'm going to need that fire.
As long as they haven't got any fire amongst them.
We've got a fire in the fireplace, yeah.
We don't want to get ourselves trapped in here.
Don't you worry about the fire. I'll take care of the fire.
Okay.
So you guys are barricading the door. That's the play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll take a position by the window. I'll go by a window or whatever. I imagine it's got some like pretty small windows to minimise the heat loss.
Okay. So why don't Tiergard, why don't you give us a crafting check? Let's just see how effective the barrier is going to be here.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, you could push that, but it would be hurting yourself. It doesn't mean it's not effective. It just I would be adding extra.
Nah, he ain't got time to do this properly, so he's gonna just throw it against the door, and I'll have to do.
Okay.
Another dwarven rush job.
Okay.
The axe will deal with these.
So you set things up. You guys all position yourselves in this small cabin. Remember, there's the root cellar as well. There's no access to the root cellar from outside. I picture it only being a relatively small thing. So you guys are in here and all sitting tent. You haven't put out any lights or anything like that, right? The light from the campfire or the fireplace is still burning?
No, yeah, because Tiergar was keen to put it out, and I said, no, we need the fire. Trust me, we need the fire.
Let's just make sure everyone's out of sight, so they're not standing in clear view. So against the walls behind
that fire.
So yeah, it's not obvious.
I'll attempt to obscure myself and hide.
Okay, within the cabin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if we pin ourselves to the wall, so if they look through the window, sort of casually or quick look, they wouldn't see us.
Okay. So you guys are all positioned within the cabin. Tiergar, I'm imagining, is closest to the door, and that's when you hear the door kind of rattle, 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 rattle. You coo. Open this up, or we'll burn it down. You can barely hear it over the wind outside. There's something distinctly unnatural about that voice.
If I like poke my head around just to have a glance out through the window, what can I see anything?
Give us a stealth check, please. Let's see if they. I'm going to contest it with their stealth. See if they spot you.
All right. It might be the last thing they spot.
Okay.
Stealth. Ooh, I'm not very stealthy, dude.
They get you a star.
No, I think I'm just a base 3 on the old stealth. We'll see how this goes.
Okay, you could push that if you like, but I'm not sure it's consequential. No? Okay.
No.
So you poke your head out, and you can see one of these disgusting, heavily armored, they're all covered in packed snow and whatnot. Yeah, sees you and kind of, what are they armed with? Pulls his throwing axe back as if he's going to throw it at you.
Can I try and destroy that axe in his hand?
There is a window between both of you, so whoever is attacking whom is going to destroy that window, probably. But you can try.
Because I've got Sunder.
Yes, you do. Okay. So why don't we do this? Here, hold on. Let's. I actually didn't load any. I should have loaded some illustrations from the. Let's see here.
So Sunder, it's a bit of reach spell. So I ain't got a.
Yeah, I can tell you what that is in just a sec here.
Just so everyone knows, I can heal wits or empathy. I can do strength or agility. I can also help with poison.
Hender can also, with his Hymn of Healing, if someone's broken.
Gotcha.
Only when they're broken, though, is the difference with him.
Yeah.
We've got some healing going on.
And let's see, I also have the Sense Magic and Magical Seal, so I think I can protect people with my magic too.
Yeah, I got them. They're pretty cool, aren't they? The Magical Seal's quite interesting, that protecting people.
From magic, yeah.
So this isn't going to be a direct parallel because I didn't... Well, let's just use this for them. They're not this heavily armored. And they're not undead. But it's a badass.
They bear zero resemblance.
Here we go. So there's 5 of them outside. Here we go.
They look kind of...
Said they were leading something with a rope. Can we see that?
That is? Virgil looked outside and he was looking for them. He unfortunately was spotted. So the reason I wanted to get the things down here is because I'm going to draw initiative for Virgil and them.
It's the Nazgul have arrived.
It's Virgil, a 10. Oh, shit. And for them, all right, a 1. Oh, fuck. So they're going to act first, which means before you can get a spell off, they are going to try and throw this thing at you.
God damn.
Yeah, they have...
So we want low initiatives. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it goes from low to high. Okay. So, but remember, you can choose to dodge if you wish. Do you wish to dodge? You move.
Seems like a sensible course of action.
Yeah.
I don't want an axe in my face either. No. So.
Yeah, my spell casting can wait. So this is the whole slow, fast action thing now, isn't it?
Yes, and you have to declare a defense before I make my roll. If you wish.
So if I dodge, I'm not gonna get to cast, am I?
Your fast action will be gone, but you have a slow action. Yeah. And a slow action can be traded in for a fast action.
So spells are slow, I think. So
spells are slow.
Yeah, and dodge is a move equivalent. So the fast.
No, fast action. There's fast actions and slow actions.
Well, dodges. So I could potentially dodge and still cast.
Yep, absolutely.
Then I will dodge forthwith.
So go ahead and make your move check. I only got 1 success, so you just need to make 1 to get it the fuck out of the way.
Move
dodge adds something to your move. Thought I saw something like that.
Oh, so the type of attack, if it's stabbing, slashing, or punching.
Have I got some cover here, Kev? Like, because
I think you expose yourself to be able to look out.
All right.
So, yeah, I can't remember how cover works in this game. Let's see here. Yeah, as long as you get one success here, you're going to be good.
Cover counts as like armor.
Like armor.
Oh, yeah. So you roll for damage, reducing damage potentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you got it.
So,
okay.
Virtual, go ahead and roll your move.
Yep.
Come on. 1. There you go. That's enough to get the hell out of the way. But the window smashes in. I think we're all into combat. So why don't we draw cards for everybody now? And Hander, you got a 3. Tirgar, an 8, and Karina, a 4. Okay.
Can you trade initiatives?
I think you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can.
I think it's a fast action to do it.
To trade initiative?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
There's there's a feint to trade initiatives with an opponent at arm's length. And then let's see here.
Yeah,
Is that when you take their card?
You feint, you get their card instead for the next round.
That's a cool idea. That's a cool little idea. I like that.
Yeah. And I think you keep the initiatives, don't you? So I think, in theory, you're meant to have 1 for each creature.
Yeah.
Says you can exchange your initiative card.
Instead of having like 1 for all of them, I think they're meant to have 1 card each.
No. It's for
page 84.
1 for each NPC.
Changing the initiative.
Yeah. So hold up.
It's just because you might go before some, but not all of them, sort of thing.
Let's add these over here.
Geez.
So there we go. Okay. So then,
it says you never draw initiative during, but you can exchange your initiative. Page 84.
Okay.
And then your initiative for the round with another player character done at the start of the fight or at the start of the round, but never during a round. Okay.
So does anyone want to swap their initiative cards?
Yes.
I'll give mine to Tirgar.
Okay.
And I'll swap mine with Virgiville.
Okay.
Swap mine with because I don't.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be support.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool. That's neat.
That's a cool action. All right. Now this, I think this place is small enough that a fast action to run would allow you to engage with somebody if they're inside, but they're going to try and burst down. So I got let's see here on 1. I got 2 of them that can act first. So let's try and bust that door down.
Oh, I thought the 1 was the guy throwing the thing.
No, that was the last round, and now we're starting a new round. As you guys are all, that's why you were able to trade cards.
Sure.
Okay, so now unfortunately they are affected by the cold. They have been traveling in this brutal fucking weather, so they're not as tough as they normally would be.
Good thing.
So, yeah, and okay, so 2 of them are slamming themselves up against the door. But Tirgar's craftsmanship is really proving its metal. Didn't you get 3 successes on your craftsman to
that was to set up the camp.
Yeah. So we'll let some of that play into this. So 2 of them have gone. It's 3. Virgil, what would you like to do?
Well, I want to bust out some magic, man.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Oh, you were asking about that, right? So let's see here.
I was gonna sunder, but I'm thinking now, I might just want to light one of these guys up.
So combustion, the way it works is if used against a held object, that would include like the furs they're wearing, they must drop the item or suffer 1 point of damage. If used against clothing or armor, the victim suffers an attack with a number of base dice equal to twice the power level with weapon damage 1. The victim catches fire and suffers another point of damage at the start of every round until a successful move roll as a slow action is made to extinguish the armor, extinguish the flames, and armor has no effect on that damage.
Yeah, I want to light up that guy who threw
the thing through
the axe.
Yeah, you got it. So then you're spending 1 willpower point, and just give us a 1d6 roll. No effect. Okay, so then would you roll 2 base dice, just in your dice pool, set up 2 white dice, and go ahead and roll whenever you're ready. Okay, so no extra. Was your move? Oh, because you used move last, I'll bet you. All right, so there's no extra effect, but what does it look like as you set this one on fire?
I feel like I glance over to the fireplace and I kind of like twist up my hand and like whip out some flames, and it goes out through the window, and your man catches light.
Yeah, so he is ablaze in the freezing snow. Next up will be Tirgar.
So they haven't actually made it in yet, have they? So we haven't got any targets inside the hut.
Well,
yet.
Actually, I'm just gonna. Yeah, on his turn, I'll tell you. Well, let's do Tirgar's turn first here.
Yeah. So they haven't broke in yet, have they? So
no. There's 2 of them banging against the door. The first, number 1, number 2.
So I can't directly attack them. I don't really want to let them in. You can't hold actions in this, though, can you?
I don't think
can you like brace against the door to prevent them from? I mean, the Verge of Vulcan just like light everyone on fire eventually, I guess.
Yeah. I think all I'll do is just try and sort of hold against the bed to try and sort of resist them for as long as we can.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can.
So why don't you give us a might roll?
Okay. Nope.
You want to push it?
No, again, I don't want to lose the strength.
Do not fear. Healing is here.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not too. They're holding out. The door's holding out, so
Okay.
yeah.
So that would be a slow action. You still have a fast? I don't think there is anything that you necessarily.
I probably had to move over, didn't I?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it'll be 5. The other one, I think he's going to try and clamber up onto the roof. So you can try and cut through, right?
Let it fall. Break your neck.
Not successful. Yeah, so he is trying to climber on the roof. He's not successful. There's no 6, a 7. That guy burns to death.
Hooray!
Yeah, they've been pretty badly hurt by the cold.
Wow, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not cold anymore.
I mean, fortunately, I guess we don't see any of this, so we're like, I don't know.
Virgil does. His eyes are ablaze with fire. Then
there's a little different opinion of Virgil, who's burning people alive.
Karina, you're up next. What are you doing?
She's going to use her fast action to get up next to the door with Tirgar.
Okay.
And, since he's, I imagine a little shorter, she's going to put her hands above and try to hold the door as well.
Yeah, give some might check, please.
Might.
Do we can hear the guy trying to climb up the roof, or do we not hear because he bailed? Or
I think you hear someone battering at the side.
Okay.
You want to push that, Karina?
I do not, no.
Okay.
I cannot heal myself of these things, so.
Okay. So you are, so you're pushing up against the thing. Then I'll let another one try and get on the roof here. Let's see, get a gear bonus. Nope. Should we push it? Yes. So you can hear someone has hefted themselves up on the roof, Hender. The creaking of the timbers overhead. And then it is Hender's turn. What are you doing, Hender?
He lets people know about the guy on the roof. I guess it's a fast action.
Yeah, so that's a fast action.
And he's going to start, singing up the ditty about the fight in the cabin in the mountains.
Nice.
So, for performance.
Okay, go ahead and give us a performance check. Are you targeting the guys at the door, or are you targeting the guy who's on the roof?
Maybe the guy on the roof, right? Since he's going to try to trying to hack through.
Okay.
He'll try to target the guy on the roof.
Go ahead. Give us a performance check, please.
Like it's going to be like a wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. Now, hold on. I'm just going to check and see if you... I can't remember if the flute gives you any kind of... Yeah, okay, hold on. Your flute
gives you a gear
gives
bonus.
you +1 gear bonus to your performance.
Okay.
My inner bard is coming out.
Nice. Yeah. So that's 2. So you can impose. You could push that if you like. It would impose
it's only 1 success. 1 success.
Right. It was the one that was with Rent, the black. All right. So if you push it, you'll be damaging your flute. You were playing a little overexcitedly.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna.
Okay. So that'll be -1 to the guy in the roof. So that's pretty fucking bad for them with all the weather penalties. All right, that is the end of the round, so we're back to the top of the round. We have 2 at the door who are trying to burst through. I'll just make the rolls for them. Oh, the door is beginning to go through. I'm using my Noble Knight dice for this.
Weighted on the 6s.
Okay, so 1 has cricked through. That 1 more, and they're going to be able to bust the door down. But that second shoulder into it does not do it. Virgil, you're up next. What are you doing?
All right, have I got a target there, Kev?
I don't think you do. Unless you poke, you spend a fast action to put your head outside, but that might expose you to something. You'd be able to poke your head out the window that's been shattered by that axe, and then try and make your spell or make your spell roll.
Yeah. I'm buoyed up by my success. I impetuously lean out. Come on in, let's have ya. And
Go
he's
ahead.
like already whipping up the fire from the fireplace, and he's like,
okay,
it's like spinning around in his hand, and his firing hand.
Go ahead and give us a 1d6 roll, please.
I love it.
Yeah.
There's a great picture too on page 117. That's the mad mage doing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right, so once again it's 1 point of damage on him, and they are a fire. No effect to you, cost you 1 willpower. It is Tiergar.
Which one did you light up? Or do you know? Oh, you don't know.
It'd be number 1 or number 2, one of the ones at the door. I'll put the...
Oh, nice.
Here, I'll put the thing on there.
Oh, nice. Oh, good.
I'm actually thinking that they're gonna do more damage to our hut and put us at risk from the elements, and I'm thinking I might actually... Could I use a fast action to open the door?
You have to, I think, a fast action to move the bed, and then a fast action to open the door. Just get that bed in the way, right?
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to do it in one go.
Unless you spend a fast action, give us a might roll. Let's see if you can hurdle that thing out of the way.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
I'll push it.
Oh, he's useless.
Oh,
That's 2 damage.
your pride. Is there any pride you could trigger right now?
What is my pride? You've got to be able to automatically sort of add it in, have you?
Yep, I'm going to be pretty lenient with that, though. But what is your pride?
You can endure any injury. So it's to push it when you get damaged was sort of the idea.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe that's it, you know? Let's live dangerously. If you want to roll your pride, go nuts.
No, I think he'll prep it for next turn. So he's going to move the bed, but not open the door. So they've still got to get through the door.
Okay, so they would, it'd be one more act. So 1 success, and they're going to bust the door down. All right, then it is on a 5 is the guy. So this guy was trying to climb up, but he just saw Virgil come out with that fireball and fucking nuke his ally. You have no more fast actions left, Virgil.
No.
which means you couldn't defend against his attack. So
no, because I've ducked out and I've done a spell.
Yeah. Okay. So then he is. Let's see here. Fortunately, his strength is down. He'll have to spend a fast action to engage with you, and oh, he's bringing an ugly-looking axe down on you.
Ah!
But I miss. Did I push it?
Yes.
Let's do it.
The NPCs can push.
So
I mock him.
Yeah,
I
swings
mock
at you,
him.
and you just misses you with this axe. Maybe it thunked into the wall. So that
you're
was
getting a fire there side, bro. You're getting a fire coming your way.
So that's a 5. Actually, I can't remember if they can or not. I'm choosing to right
just
now.
wondering. Yeah, just wondering.
Because I know
I think
most
so.
NPCs in Twilight 2000 can't, right?
Yeah, I think it's just I just do like named guys can do it, but.
So 5, 6, 7, 8. Karina, you're up. What are you doing?
Well, seeing that Tiergar is trying to get the door open and not trying to hold it open, I'm just gonna charge over to Virgil and try to stab that guy hitting him through the window. Just lean over and knife him.
Okay, I'm gonna give you. No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him. No, I can't do that. I'm gonna give you a -1 to your. Yeah, -1 is good enough to your action, just because it's gonna be an awkward. What are you using? Your knife or your staff?
My knife, yeah. I only have a knife.
Oh, you only have a knife. Okay, so then that is pointing. Yeah, go right ahead.
There's an axe sitting in the room too, by the way.
That'll take an action though.
Yeah.
Okay, so attack lined up -1 base.
-1 to your base, yeah, and then go ahead and roll your attack.
Watch out, Virgil.
Come on.
Stab.
You want to push that?
I do. Why not?
Okay. No. All right. So I think hit your what do you call it? Your shin?
Funny
No,
bone?
your
Funny bone.
Funny bone.
yeah, right against the wall as you're trying to stab out. So you take 1 point of damage to your strength.
Got it.
Then it is Hender. What are you doing, Hender?
No, the guy on the roof.
Oh, a guy on the roof, right? Who's lost 1 point here. Jeez, so he needs to, because of that ice fog from the day before, it's got to be slippery as shit up there. I have to push it. So he is able to keep himself up on the roof, and then he's gonna hits down once. Holy shit! You can see axe blade cuts through the roof and then pulls back. He's beginning to hack through the top.
Gonna let the heat out, you bastard.
Hender, your turn. What are you doing?
Hender's probably gonna. I guess he's gonna. Oh shoot! What's he gonna do? Can he keep the flute? Does he have to use 2 hands to keep the flute going, or could he like sing too? I guess he can sing.
He can do both. I mean, I think either is whatever the like narratively you want to do is fine. You'll still get the bonus for the gear from using your flute. Okay.
He's gonna try to keep up the guy on the roof.
Yeah.
Interspersed with there's a guy coming through the roof. And as a fast action, he's gonna move to where the axe. The axe was.
Oh, the throwing axe. Yeah.
Yeah, and probably next round try to like kick it towards one of the fighter peoples.
Okay.
All right, so he's going to move over to where the axe, either fell through the wall or hopefully just bounced on the ground. But
yeah, and then give us
keep
your
up the
performance,
the performance and taunt on the guy on the roof.
Okay.
Maybe he'll fall and break his neck when he comes through.
It was very fucking close to that.
Yeah. All right. And then 1 for the flute.
Yeah. Here for
there you
flute.
go.
And then there you go. Excellent. Okay, so another -1 for them. All right. Then it is top of the round. So those two, that one, he unfortunately burns to death as well. So
my commiserations.
Okay. Then the other guy, number 2, is going to try and he cries out in fury and tries to burst the door down. Does enough. The door is down. This guy staggers through with an axe in his hand. To you, Tirgar. Then it is Virgil. You were hanging out the window right now. Someone has tried to hit you with an axe. What would you like to do?
The guy that tried to hit me with the axe, is he burnt away now?
No. The guy who hit with the axe was someone who was not
was at the door.
Yeah, he was trying to climb the roof, was unsuccessful. Then you leaned out and he's like, ran over and tried to get you.
It's number 5.
Oh yeah, so he's got it.
Yeah,
he's got it coming to him. So that's the guy that I promised that I would set a fire. So I don't want to disappoint him.
Okay.
Douche.
Oh, so that's power 2.
Ooh.
So that means it will do. Go and roll 4d6 or 4 base dice rather.
Hold on.
Sheesh.
This may kill him outright right away.
Look at that. Oh god. I'm a bit unwieldy with all this stuff. Right. Douche.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, what's it look like as you char him to just ashes?
I feel like he made me proper angry. So as I was like winding up with, it just went, and I almost like surprised by myself, and he just, it's just like a column of flame, reaching up into the heavens,
So this guy, there is nothing but a charged patch of ground left from that one. All his gear, everything has been completely consumed. That would have cost you willpower as well. Then it is number 4, Tirgar. You have an adversary before you.
Okay. For my fast action, I'm going to swing my heavy weapon.
Okay.
Which just gives me +1 damage if I hit. And then I'm just going to swing my melee and try and hit him.
Go ahead.
Oh, wow.
Now, I've used all my actions. Do you want to push that for some extra?
No, I'm going to use a willpower, though, to ignore his armor.
Amazing. What's it look like as you kill this guy?
It's just going to come through, crazed with his axe above him, and it's just going to be the classic two-handed axe right into his midriff, and he just folds over.
You actually lift him up. He slams against the wall, and you pull him out, and he's almost entirely bifurcated. Then it is Karina.
She looks down at Virgivold and says, "You don't need any help," and pats him on the head.
Okay.
And she leans out the window to see if there's anybody else out there.
Not that
He's
you can
on the roof,
see.
right?
So fast action to look out. You can't see anyone, but I mean, Hender's been like dancing around and saying like, "He's on the roof. He's on the roof. He's on the roof. He's on the roof."
That's the chorus on the roof.
Yeah.
Kev, for my fast action, Kev, could I have hopped
He's
out
dancing
the window?
like the fiddler on the roof.
I think it's gonna require, because there's probably broken glass and shit in there.
Right. Yeah,
right?
I need to be more careful. Yeah.
It would require, I think, a slow action to get out.
Okay.
If you want, you could with the guy cut down. After your round, you can give us a. Let's see here. What would it be?
Could I use my action and turn just to flip him out the window, and he can roll to, stand up?
It'd be a move action for agility for Virgil. Virgil acts well before you. Is a thing that I just robbed Virgil of his action.
Well, that was so epic, just burning the guy alive.
Oh yeah,
easy to.
Karina, are you gonna do anything? Or...
We're just waiting for Virgil to.
You want to push that, Virgil?
Yeah, I'll push it. I'll push that.
Okay. So you're not able to get up and out for it. Sorry, Karina, we're on your turn. You looked outside. Okay. There's no one you can see, but again, Hender's been talking about someone on the roof. You have a slow action.
I see that Virgil is trying to get out the window. Can I use my slow action just to boost him out the window?
No, you could. Why doesn't Virgil then roll one extra base dice?
Okay.
Okay, let's see if you get yourself out the window. So just one dice, and we'll see if that. Yes, he's out. There you go. Okay, so you're out the window, Virgil.
You do need help after all, and she just pushes him out the window.
Okay, and then the guy on the roof. Let's see. fails. I might have to push. You hear, ah! And thwomp, hits the roof and slides down and poof, lands in the snow fairly near where Virgil is. Hender, you think you could have heard what's happened out there? What would you like to do?
He will kick this fast action, kick the axe that was thrown through towards Karina.
Okay.
See, Tygar seems he has a bigger axe, so, and he's going to. I guess the door is torn asunder, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that would have been better. Oh well. I guess as a slow, he's going to move outside, so you can see that guy better.
Yeah, so you scamper outside.
So you have to pause for a breath as he moves outside. You know, hopefully, I mean, you can't continue the song now because fast action.
Okay.
Becomes a slow, right?
So you go racing, scampering outside, and what you do see actually, Hender, is that there is a pathetic group of 5 prisoners.
Oh,
humans
nice.
that these Mistgrown have been dragging along with them.
Okay.
Then it is Virgil, you be up first here.
Okay.
Top of the round.
Okay. I'm thinking about. I've been spamming the fire.
Oh, if I might interrupt, sorry. Remember, at the top of the round, you guys can swap initiative cards. So if, for instance, you wanted Hender to be able to get the mocking going to penalize this guy, you could swap off with someone before a 9.
I'll give my initiative score.
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to say, wouldn't it be better if I did it, and then we'd get the benefit if he tried to dodge or anything like that? Because we'd still go before
guy
him,
goes a
wouldn't we?
9.
You guys could swap
a
again. You can give Tiergar the 8 and take Hender on the 4.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as we all all go before him. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Cool.
So, sorry, Virgil, you were outside. This guy's falling on the ground. What would you like to do?
I was thinking I'm giving this now, and I want to try and suck the air out of his lungs.
Nice. I was just fucking thinking, I'm like, it'd be cool to see you switch up some stuff. That's amazing.
Yeah.
If you didn't have the wind knocked out of him now, it's taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like dropped down and maybe he's winded, and then I thought, I don't want to warm him up. Why am I warming him up? Let's just pull that air out of his lungs.
So then give us a 1d6 roll.
Okay. Ooh.
Nice. So that means your power level bumps it up. It'll last for 2 rounds, and the target suffers 1 point of damage at the start of each subsequent round for a number of rounds equal to the power level.
Yeah, and he can't speak or nothing. It's pretty good because you can like silence people with it. So if they're like spellcasters or I don't know or something, and you can just shut people up. You just go.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I've fed up of hearing what you got to say.
I think more horrifying, he cannot scream either.
He's suffocating. He's suffocating, right? That's
He's drawing the air out of him. All right, so Virgil, you do that, and this guy is. Then Hender, what would you like to do?
Hender's like, this guy Virgil's scary. I don't know.
Yeah, he is.
Maybe magic. Well, he would. I mean, Hender. I don't know. Who knows what Hender thinks about magic? He is an old guy, but anyway, his fast action is gonna move over, look at a glance at the prisoners, probably quickly say, "You're in luck. You're being rescued," and then get back to his song.
Love it. Go ahead and give us a performance check.
He probably adds, "You're being rescued."
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
Holy smokes! All right. So then, Tiergar, looks like you're up next. What are you doing?
It's a very long flute note.
I'll do a melee charge.
Okay.
So I can attack at the end of it.
Is that a slow action to melee charge?
Yeah.
So you can still swing.
But you get a slash or a stab at the end of the melee charge.
So you're using your fast to swing the thing again?
Yeah, as I go in, I'll be sort of swinging. Okay. I guess.
Go right ahead.
But like Carl's flute note had all the reverb and all the chorus on there, up to 11.
Oh man.
Okay, so that is. Do you want to push that?
Well, again, I'll ignore his armor
Spend a point. Yeah. Then.
So it does.
So he doesn't even scream. Oddly, he meets his fate with stony silence. And this misgrown is down. So,
That's how you do it, boys. That's how you do it.
Yeah. So, I will tell you that we'd be rolling for loot that's on these guys, but because we're out of time, I think I just want to talk about how you'd get XP, like how you would calculate XP, because it's really neat that it's clearly set out for what you do in a session. Experience points, here's what we ask ourselves. Did you participate in the game sessions? Yes, you get 1 XP. Did you travel through at least 1 hex on the game map that you hadn't visited before? Yes, you did.
Yes, we did.
Just about.
Did you defeat...
You only need 1.
Did you defeat 1 or more monsters? Yes, you did.
Yes, we did.
Did you find treasure worth 1 gold, meaning 10 silver or more? Yes, you did.
We did.
You're welcome.
Did you activate your pride? No. Did you suffer from your dark secret? No. Did you risk your life for another PC?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, Hender wasn't really in the combat.
I don't know.
I guess it would have been
probably not specifically. I don't think.
Yeah,
but...
probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
I think Virgil
and Tiergar did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
so then, and that's not just in combat.
I would say Hender did too, because the guy fell off the roof.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What
was that one? What was that one again, Kev?
Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
I feel like we all did, because Karina did that whole healing thing, man. I was banged up. And
Tiergar was really met.
There you go. So how many XP would that be for everybody?
5 for me.
5 for you?
6.
Yeah.
So then what it would mean is to increase a skill level by 1 step costs a number of XP equal to the skill level you want to get multiplied by 5. So a skill level from 2 to 3 costs 15. To get a new talent costs the rank you want to get multiplied by 3. So 3 points for the first rank, 6 for the second, 9 for the third. To develop magical talents, you need to find a willing teacher with a higher rank in the talent. Without a teacher, the cost in XP for increasing the rank in a magical talent is tripled. So finding an NPC to train with is definitely beneficial there. So that's how much XP you get.
What if you want to open a new skill? Is that also 5?
I think it's only 3. New skill. It's 5. Yeah, 5 for a new skill, and then 3 for a new talent.
Yeah. So I think Hender will use his 5 then to get survival, because he was foraging for the last couple days.
Awesome.
It does say you need to have used it, or a sort of skill master, or someone who can teach you.
Karina, I was watching Karina.
Yeah. Oh, but you was using it anyway. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Cool.
So
that's
nice.
I'll bring us back to the main page here, guys. So let's very cool. I'll leave it to you. What was your first impressions of Forbidden Lands?
I like this game. I'm going to substitute it for all my OSR games. I hope all the OSR grognards that listen to your channel are mad now. It's really neat. I mean, it really gives. I mean, that's being less facetious. It gives me a really good wilderness travel, hex crawl feel. It has a lot of really ways to make that streamlined and procedural with not having to figure it out as a GM, which I would say, makes play faster, doesn't get in the way at the table. And I love that, like you stated, that any piece of item has a benefit, right? So Colin, I'm sure, and we'll add some more stuff, but I know he did mention that it seems like actions that you take, even in like what we see mundane actions like foraging and survival scouting, have an effect. They're meaningful. I think that's a great game design. Roles are meaningful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the scaffolding that's provided within this rule set for like buoying up the GM, just to echo what Carl said there, is amazing. In reading through it, I thought, this has got some great ideas. How will it work out in play? Will it You know, because there's always the danger that it could potentially be tedious and all of that. But no, not at all. It's interesting. You've got so whatever game you play, whether it's war game, board game, RPG, you want to make interesting decisions. You want to be making interesting decisions that advance something. And you know, RPGs, it's often a narrative. And it's here in spades, isn't it? What have we done? We've walked through the mountains, gone to a hut, you know, and sat there chilling out for a bit, and then we've been jumped. But all the time, we've sort of learned about the characters. We've found out a bit about the setting. We've engaged with the game and learned about the game. There's these random tables that have brought out all sorts of things. It's just, the game sings. For me, the game sings.
Yeah. And the, what do you call it? The item from the Dragon's Hoard, too?
Yeah, exactly. That's what, you know.
Yeah.
You couldn't make it up, could you? Exactly. You couldn't make it up. You roll it, and it just... So how often do you use a random table and it just kind of makes sense and you think, I can't believe I rolled that. That's just spot on.
Well, and the the use of the metal. Honestly, I threw the metal plate in because I was like, all right, well, it was the last thing. I'm like, this maybe is found in here, and you guys made great fucking use of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the metal plate.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said,
like everything is important.
The scaffolding, like you said, it gives you the architecture to be able to give meaningful, like, okay, here's what this means in game stats, and what a big deal it is to be able to keep that water up for each quarter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the weather is not just like, I've played so many games, I've had weather tables and that, and the weather is, oh yeah, this is the weather. But it doesn't clearly mean anything. You know, as a GM, you've then got a kind of, well, what does that mean? Oh, I guess they'll have to make a con roll or something. But in this, you have to do stuff that's it's just interesting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just clever. It's just clever.
Yep.
And I also, like you mentioned, we were talking about how you could take different aspects of the Zero Engine games and bring them in, because there's that kind of overarching, consistent kind of game mechanisms.
Yep.
So if you're playing Forbidden Lands and you end up digging in somewhere, Kev, you were talking about, you was actually talking about Twilight T2K, Twilight 2000, and how the Walking Dead could play into that, and I've heard people talk about other things like how strongholds, how you can use ideas from The Walking Dead to shake up strongholds and stuff. And yeah, I love stuff like that beg stealing and borrowing from adjacent iterations of a game system.
Yeah,
I love that.
John, Darren, you guys have any thoughts on your first time at bat with Forbidden Lands?
Well, first impressions is I'd like to see more of it.
Yes.
The way you can just fit in the narrative of what's happening, just based on the dice rolls, I really like. Although, I want to see how the math works out before I get an overall impression. But I do like it.
Yeah, and the map, the neat thing with that is there's great rules for randomly generating settlements. I got a source book from Drive-Thru that expands on that, but even in the base book, like, there's great rules for randomly generating. So, like, anywhere you go, there's interesting shit that's happening, and there's interesting shit you can get involved with. You know, there's just a limitless supply of interesting things to be doing, and because of the dynamic nature of the world, it also feels in flux. So it feels like an actual place you're adventuring around in, and you can have, you know, we didn't even get into set-based encounters the way that would be more traditional type of play, or the events that play out over the course of the campaign. That's things that trigger as you get, you know, further along. What would you, Darren?
One thing I did like was that the weather also penalized the enemies to a certain degree. That was something new and exciting.
Yeah. Well, they've been traveling in that kind of weather. Like, I sort of fudged a roll for them, or just like made one roll to determine it, and like traveling in that weather, they're going to get fucking hit with the cold as well. So they're also lethargic and shit.
Yeah.
Darren, what do you think?
Well, as we was playing it, I thought, I know Kev's going to like this because it basically supports the way you run your sort of wilderness games with, you know, your hex crawly type stuff for the weather and, you know, setting up camps and that. So I knew that you would, you know, it'd work well with you and it would fit your sort of way of running games. So I thought that's good. And it's not particularly complicated how it's doing it. It's just the tables make sense and there's a right number of tables as far as I can tell. And so it's not super complicated. It's just sort of accurate or what you need rather than loads of stuff that you don't use and sort of gets pushed to one side. And then from a playing sort of point of view, I did particularly like the sort of decision making with the pushing, because you could see what was going to happen. You know, you could see, I'm going to take some damage here, but that's going to build up my willpower, which I want for later on. I could afford to do it now. Oh no, I don't want to do it now. So you had some decision making. I like decision making when I'm rolling dice rather than just roll, you know, or hit whatever. Yeah. So you could actually sort of roll that dice and think, right, I've got a decision to make and sort of decide how important it was. And we didn't use the pride and bits like that, but I could see that, you know, being very crucial at the right time, because you can get like 3 successes, I think, with some of them and things like that.
I really like seeing how your gear was damaged too.
Yeah,
that was really interesting. Of like, what an easy way to hand with it, but also mean that you could spend a meaningful time of like, you know what, let's fucking sit indoors and recover stuff. Like, it didn't. The thing that was it's echoing a lot of what you guys had said too, but the day where you just spent indoors was still really fucking interesting and probably the riskiest you had, Jirgar. Fighting these guys wasn't as dangerous as going out in the bitterest cold.
That was easy.
Running out of food and water.
But he is a fighter. You know, he specialises in fighting, so he can do that bit. He can't do the surviving as well. I mean, he's pretty tough, but he can't forage and that as well as these guys. Yeah. So, you know, he fits his thing. But also, even with the gear and things, on that first roll, you can see if I push this, it's going to damage my gear. Is this important enough? Because the first roll, it's not damaged, is it? I don't think.
No.
So again, is it important enough? No. Yeah. Yes. You know.
So you're making decisions.
Yeah, you're making decisions.
Yeah. Meaningful. Yeah, and the risk versus reward all the time. There seems to be no grind. There's no grind to it. It was like dynamic. Everything was dynamic. It's not like, rinse and repeat. Yeah. Stuff's getting broken. Stuff's getting repaired. It's all. It just. I don't know. It comes alive with a few simple die rolls and some random charts, and if it just kind of comes alive, I'm amazed. Yeah. I'm amazed. It's lived up to my expectations in spades, man.
Well, and when you guys haven't even had the benefit of grabbing like gear like snowshoes and skis matters so much in this because it increases your rate of speed. You move faster through mountains, through tundra and whatnot when you're wearing skis and snowshoes. And you can also get pack mules. And they don't have it in the core book, but in the deck that you get or the cards that you can get for that, I think they come with a thing. There's a handful of mounts that you can encounter over there. It's like a polar bear. There's an ice boar. They're fucking awesome.
And they've got all character, haven't they? They've got character too. I'll tell you now, hands down, since 81, I've never had a game where I've travelled one hex, slept in a hut and had a fight and enjoyed it so much.
I completely agree.
Hands down. Yeah. In all them years, 40 plus years of gaming, and never have I done seemingly so little. Yeah. Such a modest adventure at this point.
I am going to guess.
But I've had a while of a time.
Yeah, we do have to wrap things up here, but what I will say is, Colin and Carl, why don't you tell people where they can find your podcast, where I imagine you're going to talk about this afterwards.
Yeah. Go ahead, Colin.
Oh, yeah, if you want to listen to me wax lyrical about Forbidden Lands at some point, it's definitely going to happen in the near future. You can tune into the Spike Pit podcast. Where I chat all things gaming and the state of play. It's just like a diary of where I'm at, what I'm doing. I've got a school club that's just started, so it's exciting for me at the moment because we've got 12, 13 kids getting into the hobby. I'm a passionate guy. I'm enthusiastic. If you're not too fussed about spending loads of money on games and you just want to chat gaming and listen to somebody, but that's me waffling on.
And Carl?
Yes, you can listen to the GMologist Presents podcast, and there I talk about very similar things to Spike Pit games, especially games and things that I do. A lot of recaps of a lot of the games that I play and run, and this is great because this is like my third new game this weekend, because I'm also doing a weekend with good friends in the weekend, or the Jackson Elias, Friends of Jackson Elias Discord podcast, etc. And this is the third fantastic new game. I've really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to talk a lot about Forbidden Lands, and really, and probably compare and contrast to Twilight 2000, since I've been playing that for a long time, and just looking at the similar mechanics that they've been incorporated and changed the names a little bit and stuff like that, which I think is very cool. Very, very nice, slick game design.
100% agree.
Yep. And I guess I could also say, Kevin, I was not super happy about playing a non-combatant, but I had a fun time.
That's awesome to hear. I know that your preference was normally to play the big axie type stuff, so I was interested to see if there was going to be enough in there, but that's fucking cool to see. Well, it's neat, like, he's got the mitigating thing, so, like, especially, like, having to only roll cold every 2 times. Like, that really means he can, especially in an environment like this, you can go out and, like, not have to worry about cold even in the worst weather, as long as it's only 1/4. But
right.
Well, the big question is, can the old dog learn new tricks? Because I mean, Virgil, he teaches some fire magic.
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting that Carl has mentioned that he don't play the non-combatants. I never play casters. I can't handle it. I can't handle casters. It just like makes my brain melt, especially online. But here's a game where I thought I've got to play a caster. I can't play yet another halfling. Every game I'm in, I'm a halfling. So I had to bring the magic, and I love it. And I love an elementalist. I wanted to play an elementalist in the system for so long. So it was perfect. When I saw that that character come up, Kev, I was like, oh. An elementalist, yes!
That's awesome.
That's cool.
All right. So then with that, guys, we'll bring our session to a close. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for our maiden voyage into the Bitter Reach. Most definitely not going to be our last time here. This has absolutely lived up to my expectations as one of my white whales, and yeah, fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed this session. I can't believe how fast it went by. We will be discussing this. If you want to find links to both the Spike Pits and the GMologist podcast, you can find it on the Dungeon Musings Discord server as well. If you go to the link down below, there's a link to the Dungeon Musings Discord server where we have channels dedicated to story games, not to the year 1 games in general. I think that's under assorted games. We've been talking about these, but I might need to set something up on there. But there's channels there dedicated to most of the games we run on the channel, as well as a ton of other great channels like podcasts and other channels from other members of the Dungeon Musings community. There's also, there's an incredibly friendly and knowledgeable and helpful community that's grown up over there. You're more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have a terrific selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. We don't have the discount code that's listed down below is not active anymore because we haven't got our updated one yet. Because of me, I emailed late. But if you look at one of our more recent videos, you should find a discount code for that. If you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, you can enter that code and save yourself 10% on your purchase. They also have a really cool feature where if they don't have something in stock, but you want to put it on a want list, you can do that, and they'll send you an email when it comes in, and then you can enter the discount code, and save yourself some money. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That's the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really amazing organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. You can learn more about what's going on with the charity initiatives on the Charity Initiatives channel on the Dungeon Musing Discord server. Voting is currently going on for our next charity session. And if you've donated $10 or more since June 1st, 2023, you can vote for all the elements of all 3 sessions for the remainder of the year for our charity campaign. The last thing I will say, because we're well over time here, is a huge thank you to our stalwart treasure hunters. So, John, Darren, Colin, and Carl, thank you so much for playing today, guys. This was just an absolute blast to run. Again, like, I really can't. Engaging is the thing I keep going back to, because it doesn't feel like I'm waiting to do something. It doesn't feel like I'm stressed. It just feels like, all right, and what are we going to do next? You know, just a really great game to run. So, until we see you folks at home listening again, we hope that we gave you a couple of hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and see the troubles that our heroes are encountering on the Bitter Reach. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, happy gaming, and stay warm.